Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast, it's like cruiserweight action. Your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke.
What's up, guys? What's cracking? The comment, and I'm in your house. We here. We're ready to make a movie. I hope you guys are ready to make a movie. I hope you guys are with the shits, because we're with the shits. And we're ready to talk a little wrestling. That's right. You already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we're here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And that is exactly what we are here to do because, guys, it is Sunday. And you know what that means. That means time for another Sunday house party. And we've given you guys quite the week of content already. You guys already know the vibes. We give you guys the house party. Then on Monday, we give you Window Liquors. That's our Raw preview review show. And then Tuesday, we're locking in with Hype Smoke Sesh. Wednesday, it's the Raw deal with House and O'Neal. And then Friday, we've been giving you guys watch-alongs, ECW watch-alongs. Myself, The Voice, Josh Joseph, and Hypocrisy Jones has been jumping in on those, and they've been great and fun. Also, we have Grunmeister, Grun's Room, and that's our SmackDown preview review show. We've given you guys quite the week of content leading up to SummerSlam, and SummerSlam came and SummerSlam went, and there's a lot to talk about from this show. And like I said, I have the whole team here with me, and we're definitely about to talk about it, so I got to bring them in. And the first one I'm going to bring in here, he is fresh off a title defense, a huge title defense at Bring the Heat that was at Emerge in Columbus, Indiana, but he's made time to be here to somehow have a match, watch the show, then get to come and talk about the show. My God, that's the world's most dangerous podcaster and still Emerge World Heavyweight Champion, Paragon. What's up, brother?
You ever make a biddy hit her knees? Guess what? I'm Big G. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, I'm coming off that title big win off of O'Shea Edwards, the bad boy. I'm not going to hold you. He whooped my ass. Hey, ass whooping ain't going to stop me. But speaking of being one of the hardest working men in all of entertainment business, yes, I did make sure that I watched SummerSlam. I made sure I was here. And I'm running on 3 hours of sleep. But you know what? When I say anybody can get it, and you talk about how we put that W in work, then let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is exactly what we are here to do. And, you know, we had our other co-host here. He put in a lot of work last night. Actually, the last two nights. Actually, both of them have, but I'm going to bring this one in first. Man, Grun's Room has really been popping. Like, everybody's hanging out in Grun's Room. Everybody's coming and feeling that vibe. That's Grunmeister coming back to In Your House. What's up, man?
Yo, what is up, guys? Glad to be here. Let's talk about some wrestling, dogs.
Let's do it. Let's do it. We're going to keep talking about that head tattoo. I think we'll eventually get you there. I was hearing that there's some talks. It's possible. It's possible.
The price is 50,000 subs. A 50,000 sub count is the price.
All right.
Are we going to pay that?
So let's get them subs up, y'all. We need to get them
Let's
subs
get
up.
it. Let's get it. I want that head tattoo, man. All right. So you did a really great watch along last night for SummerSlam, and I did a watch along with this cat just the night before. We watched ECW, another great ECW match. Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero. That was in 1995, the last match they had before they went to WCW. Best 2 out of 3 falls, anything goes. And man, he's just been out there really working, and we appreciate all the content he's pulling in. Of course, that's my man, The Voice, Josh Joseph. What's up, man?
I always feel like I'm watching a watch along lately. So that's how I feel. I love them though. ECW watch along, fantastic. The SummerSlam and Grun's Room. Grun, I found this in the seat cushion. I'm gonna keep using it. So Grun's Room was fun. It was a blast. SummerSlam, absolutely. I loved it. It was a great night, except they hurt my mommy's feelings.
Oh man, we're definitely going to talk about that. We're gonna break it down. Let's hold on to your horses there
She's
because
crying, man.
I know I've never seen her cry before, bro. So everybody, they gotta have, the Judgment Day. They got their muscle mommy when there might not be a Judgment Day. Well, we have quite the in your house muscle mommy here herself, and she's an amazing addition to the team and everything that she's been doing. We've been doing the Raw deal with House and O'Neal, and every week it's been hitting. Annie O'Neal is coming back to In Your House. What is up?
My spirits, my heart rate, because I'm so excited. I'm very caffeinated. And I'm making my house party debut. So let's go. I'm really excited to talk some SummerSlam.
Yes, let's do it. And with this great team here, Voice doing all the great work that he's doing, Grun doing all the awesome work that he's doing, P making time to be here for this big episode. And anytime he comes here, he brings those great insights. And he's just once again been a great addition to the team and add into everything that we've been doing. But there's got to be somebody that makes it all work and puts it all together there. And of course, that's my producer of the show, Hypocrisy Jones. What's up, bro?
Yo, what up, household? What up out there? What's up? This is a full ass house, bro. Like there's there's a person in every box, bro. Like I'm wilding right now.
This was like the Brady Bunch.
Best friend.
Point the other way. Point the other way.
Hit it.
Point the other way.
It's the other way.
There we go. Yeah.
No, it's there you go. That's him.
No, you going?
That's him.
Your best friend? You fired. You fired.
No, you're my best friend.
Where's my measuring tape? Where's my measuring tape?
You're right there.
Oh, dang, not the measuring tape. The measuring tape is coming out early. It's coming out early, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm so confused right now.
You're getting in trouble. That's all you need to know, Jones.
One thing I do know is that, bro, Grun is coming around on a head tattoo. Look,
he is.
First it was out of the question. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it at all. I'm never doing it. Blah, 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 blah. Now it's, hey, 50,000 subs. So, hey, we're coming along, bro. We're coming along. He's getting a whole head tattoo, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Like right here.
Subs.
Right there. Yeah.
I want to see flames like Bam Bam, bro.
Oh, no. Yeah, we're getting IYH all flamed out on it.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah.
What did I do?
I told you last night, Grun, as soon as you say a number, people are going to jump on it. 50,000 strong. Yep. That's all we need for Grun's head tattoo.
Things into the universe. I'm just saying.
Yep.
She's getting it.
She's saying, yep.
If anything, we should put a poll up and ask the fans what should be his tattoo.
We'll put it in the house call.
Let's not
put it in the house.
Put it on the page.
I know there are people that are going to give some really bad ideas.
I think it should be
I'm here for bad ideas.
Me too.
Yeah, bad. Sometimes bad ideas are the best ideas. Yo, speaking of house call, shout out to Adam in the house call, bro. Hey.
Well, if 50,000 is doable, do it.
Already said he's doing it, so he's taking that 50K.
Yup.
Hey, I'm gonna tell your friends, your mamas, your aunties, your everybody's. All right,
everybody,
your kid.
If we get to 200K, I'll do a hair versus hair match.
Oh, see, this is nice.
Oh,
we're starting off.
All right,
strong.
here we go.
I like the household is this full, bro.
Heavy. Oh man, we haven't even started talking about SummerSlam yet. Hey. Can't blame me. I'm just orchestrating all this, we dancing out here, and we're gonna talk SummerSlam. All right, we got to talk SummerSlam. I got these. This is an asylum here. This is completely nutty, but we have to stay on track here. We got to talk some SummerSlam. And Voice, your heart, man. I know it's hurting. You saw mommy in pain. We all saw what happened in that match. But to be fair, myself and Annie O'Neal, we've been saying this for weeks, that this was exactly what was going to happen, and it came to fruition. Dominic Mysterio, that dirty, rotten, raggedy bitch, he turned on mommy.
Wow.
He turned on mommy, and he went with Liv Morgan, helped Liv Morgan retain. We saw the kiss after the match. Voice, I got to start with you, man, because I know I see your face. I see that. I see those vibes. Where are you at? Where's the pain at? Did you cry yourself to sleep?
Well, let's answer the last one. Yes, I did, but that's another night. That was no different than with Thursday. But yeah, we watched Mommy, and I know you guys have been saying it, but that's when I hit mute on the show because I don't want to listen to it.
Okay. Most
Dirty
people
Dom.
just at the truth anyway.
Exactly. I can't handle the truth. Jack, he was right. He should have put me on that stand. I would have been like, "You're right, buddy." End of movie. But here's the thing: when it comes to Liv, she's a sewer rat, and Dom, he just proved that that's what he wants to be around. And isn't it just like a short blonde lady just to come in and just ruin up a happy family? I mean, the Judgment Day, they were just doing great things, and now Mommy's sad in a ring. I mean, I'm rewatching it and I'm seeing how happy Rhea was at the beginning of this, and then the whole world came crashing down because of Dirty Dom and his dirty thoughts, and just he makes me mad right now. But I mean, he's ultimate heel. Ultimate fucking heel. The dude is living up to what Rhea said he was going to be the GOAT for on the podcast, and it was excellent storytelling. I didn't want it to happen.
I feel that.
I agree.
I feel that. P, you got the measuring stick out, man. Where you got some thoughts? Where are you at, man?
I completely disagree. It's all Rhea's fault. Rhea did this to herself, damn it.
Oh, no.
Standing on business.
No.
It's Rhea's fault. And you know what? In the Judgment Day breaking up is Rhea and Damian Priest's fault.
Heresy.
Oh, what's happening?
Yes, us both their fault. You know where it all started?
I'm confounded. Why?
Because
How
you know
could
what?
do such
This would have
things?
never happened in R-Truth's Judgment Day.
Yeah, because he didn't know what the hell was happening half the time.
He still doesn't know what's happening.
And making money. They were happy and making money. This would have never happened in R-Truth's Judgment Day. That's strike one. Strike two. I'm sorry to tell y'all, Rhea's not the hero in this story. Rhea's not the hero. You abused and mistreated Dom. You know the moment that I realized Dom was going to turn on Rhea when she says, "I belong to nobody, you belong to me." Pretty much saying, Rhea said, "I'm for the streets, you're not." That's what Rhea told Dom. And Dom's heart was broken because she was coming in here buying us PlayStation 5s and chicken nuggies. She was out here actually wanting me. You talk all that freaky stuff, Rhea, but Liv over here showed me the freaky stuff. So you know what? You played your hand and you lost. That's what it comes down to. It's Rhea's fault. Rhea did this, and I'm not going to talk about Damian yet, but Rhea did this to herself. I'm sticking to it. You treated Dom wrong. Now, mind you, Dom is a royal fuck up, so like there were some things that he deserved. I'm all about accountability, and he's a royal fuck up. But with that being said,
he's a raggedy bitch.
What'd you say?
He's a raggedy bitch.
He is a raggedy bitch. He's a raggedy bitch, and he's crusty. He's crusty. He's a raggedy bitch, and his underarms stink. But that's not what we're talking about right now. At the end of the day, Liv Morgan finished her own story. Because we were all team Liv Morgan until Rhea Ripley decided to put her out. She comes back, and I literally called it. I said, Liv Morgan is going to come back and try to take every single thing from Rhea. And what did she do?
You said that months before it happened.
And as far as I'm concerned, did Liv Morgan take the Judgment Day from Rhea too? I'm just saying, because right now it's just the Twin Towers left by themselves. I'm pretty sure that Dom, Finn, and JD are standing with Liv, and so the Twin Towers are the only ones left. And
what about
I blame the
Carlito?
Twin Towers. I'm sorry.
That's a good question. Where do you think Carlito stands in all this?
I think Carlito stands for whoever accepts him because they don't really want him in Judgment Day.
Yeah, I'm still confused how he got in Judgment Day in the first place. I missed that.
It was around the time when Dominic Mysterio just like started bringing people to the Judgment Day locker room. Like he brought Legado El Fantasma, he brought them, and then he also brought Carlito.
He brought in Cien Almas. Andrade.
Yep, brought him to. So he just started bringing random people, and then Carlito kind of stuck after Damian Priest was kind of like, all right, you got to stop doing this, man. You got to stop bringing randoms into the treehouse. And but Carlito stuck, and that's how he ended up staying around. We got some comments up in here.
Yeah. The Lou started calling us the IYH bloodline last night because of the amount of people we have going on and how we're expanding. So we are now known as the IYH bloodline on the Lou's channel.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. We will do it. We will do it. And we're definitely listen, a lot of bloodline stuff going on. So we're definitely going to get to that. But Annie, let me get some of your thoughts before we get to Grun here. Me and you have been saying this is what's going to happen for the last couple of weeks on the Raw deal. What do you think about the match? What do you think about the happenings? Because I really feel like this show right here was really, and P said it before the show, and it's the same way that I feel, but he said it. I feel like it was a reset on a lot of storylines, and this is also something that that Voice said is that I feel like things are going to reset and we're going to see some juicier stuff after SummerSlam. And I agree with that. Annie, you're seeing what happened. You saw it. What did you think about the match? Where do you think we're going from there?
You know what? Just because we predicted certain outcomes doesn't mean it was super comfortable to watch, because when Mommy came through that curtain, she had a different picture playing out in her head. You know, she had her man by her side. She had, you know, her foundation she could stand firmly upon, and just knowing what the perceived outcome was going to be, and seeing that the betrayal that Mommy was about to, you know, endure, it was very heartbreaking to watch. You know, for Dominic Mysterio to be standing upright the entire time, I didn't know how someone so non-vertebrate could possibly do it, because he is I hate that man. I hate that man so much. He's inspired 27 different ways to unalive a person, and I'm not proud of it, but that's where we are. Like, how dare you betray Mom? And dear God, I respect it deeply, but I completely disagree. It was not Rhea's fault. Not Rhea's fault at all. But I respect your opinion.
Tell him, Annie.
I love it. I love it.
See, my best friend's on my side, even though he's currently.
Oh,
fired.
I know, because he's been saying the same thing for weeks. He's been saying the same thing for weeks, that Rhea is the bad guy. Go ahead.
It's okay. I accept you even if you're wrong.
Wait, first of all, let me grab this. Yes, I have been saying this for weeks. Rhea is the bad guy. She kidnapped Dom, bro. She kidnapped Dom, and then she brainwashed him, and then she made him go against his own goddamn family. And I'm sorry. Maybe it's supposed to be a PG universe, but I said it.
Well, hold on. But Ray is a
fully grown man being caught in the crosshairs of both Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. He knows his free will.
What?
He knows
Wait.
No.
I challenge the fact that he's fully grown. I challenge the fact
that
he was fully grown. Like, I don't think a man is fully grown until he goes through some shit. Now he's went through some shit and he's figured some shit out, and he realized that like Liv loves him. Like, that's the thing. Like, he accepts this.
Does not qualify as love. Just because he gets nuggies and he gets a PS5,
and
like. He's being manipulated.
Can't buy me love.
Man, my wife makes me catfish and greens. Do you know how much I accept? I appreciate this. She bought me a PS5 as well. I put a ring on that thing. I'm just saying.
No, she has an agenda. She had an agenda. She knew what she was doing. She was making the little puppet dance, and it was effective.
Listen, I'm with as far as that goes, I'm with Annie on that one. I do think that there's going to come a time where we're going to see that Liv Morgan is going to throw Dominic Mysterio away, you know, like a bad habit, going to totally throw him away. I totally see that happening. And me And me and Annie been talking about that. But Grun, you've been lying and waiting, haven't got a chance to really give your take on this match, man. I got to get you in on this. What did you think about the Women's World Heavyweight Championship match?
I thought this, if there was any question as to whether or not this is my chat. This is my they bust my balls all the time. If there was any doubt as to whether Rhea was the modern day China or not, this match proved it. Not just because of just Rhea's dominance and how much she fought to win in this match, but twice she popped her shoulder back into the ring, back into place in the most violent way. It's like, that's not a badass. I don't know what is. And Dom, like I see it. I saw, and I'm like, oh, he's giving the chair for Rhea to hit, live with. I'm like, God damn it, Dom, you screwed up again. Then that freaking look on his face.
He hated it, bro.
That son of a bitch.
Yo, listen, I gotta give it to. I'm sorry, I gotta give it to Cole. He was on it on commentary. He did, man. He was killer in that moment.
He really was.
I will say this though about last night, because one, I thought that match was better than it was going to be, but there was a moment that was really beautiful, and I think it's a testament to show the growth of Dominic and the progress of the new regime of WWE. Us being able to have that clear audible moment of Dom taking the steel chair from Rhea. You can't win that way. Go and pin her. Yeah. You can't win. To me, that was a real moment right there, because I'm like, for a second, they got me. I'm typically good with this stuff, but for a second, I'm like, that's some real shit. And I thought it was just going to be like, that's the moment that screws up and like Dom gets in trouble again. And I didn't think it was going to go to that thing with Liv just yet. But I thought it was done very, very well and honestly very intelligently, because it's like, realistically, why would you hit her with a chair when you've gone all this way to try to get back what's yours? And so that moment of Rhea might have fucked up. Dom is trying to like get her to get back on track. And she even says, you're right. I'm sorry. Okay, I lost my head. If you listen back to the tape, like she's actually agreeing with Dom, saying, okay, I'm screwing up right now. I felt like it was done very, very well. And then that swerve in the end and that beautiful camera moment of the chair hits, Dom hops down, looks away, and he's I was like, oh shit. So I just wanted to point that out, because I know some people may have caught it, some people may have missed it, but I think that was just so brilliant, and the little things that can be so big, beautiful. Chef's
I have a question for the household.
Yeah.
At what point in Dominic's decision making do you think he chose Liv over Rhea?
I think it was the moment where she said that I don't belong to anybody, but you belong to me. I think that was the moment. I think he kept entertaining Liv. I don't think he wanted to initially be with her. I think he wanted Rhea, and like she kept mounting. Also, that kiss was very like dry. That kiss was drier than Faux Deserts. But I feel like that was the moment, because she's showing him love and she's doing this and she's doing that. But he was very adamant of, I didn't want her. I don't want this. And he was completely shocked and surprised when Rhea came back. So he was trying to follow her and be under her too, whatever. I think the moment she said that, for me, in my opinion, I think that's when he said, I got to choose me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I 100% agree.
I agree with that. I think that one of the things that we're seeing with Dominic Mysterio as a character and his character development that goes along with him, of course, is that we're seeing Dominic Mysterio wanting to be his own man. I mean, this is exactly where it started out. He started off as a tag team with his father. Then he didn't want to be known as, Rey Mysterio's son. So, he turned his back and with him and Edge and went his way. And that was because I need to stand on my own too. I got to do my own thing. Well, then he got clicked up with Rhea Ripley in the Judgment Day. And him in the Judgment Day was running. And, it was a thing where that was good for a while it lasted, but like I'm still looking for that other way to stand on my own 2 feet as a man. Once it felt like he got too dependent on Rhea Ripley, and I really felt like like P was saying, the moment clicked inside of his head when she said, "You belong to me," and like, no, I'm my own man. I make my own decisions. I'm gonna stand on my own 2 feet, and I'm gonna make a big decision at SummerSlam, and he did, and it resulted in a huge situation that, once again, I say, this is going to make Rhea Ripley bigger. Her having to overcome this is going to make her just a bigger star than she would have been if she would have just won the championship last night, and boom, 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 she's champion. Everything's all right in the world of the Judgment Day and in the world of Rhea Ripley. But I like I said weeks ago, I said that I think that we're going to see 2 people get betrayed, and we're going to talk about the second one a little bit later. But I'm going to see 2 members of Judgment Day getting betrayed, because that's going to help catapult them into bigger stars. So that's exactly what I saw. I thought it was a great match. I think that's when he made his decision.
Can I say something based off what you said? Because you talked about how these moments are going to make them bigger stars. In wrestling, baby faces aren't built off of victories; they're built off of losses.
Right.
That's a big thing about wrestling. It's not about your wins; it's about your losses. Because can I care about you when you lose? It's easy to love you when you win, but do I give a damn when you lose? Do I give a damn when it looks like you're about to lose? Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley have been heels in Judgment Day. And whether we want to admit it or not, though Liv is doing dastardly things, she technically is the babyface doing dastardly things. Right now, Rhea is the heel who we love. Damian Priest is a heel who's trying to have babyface mannerisms of trying to do things the quote-unquote right way, or at least I want to do it on my own. I want to prove I can do it. This is a moment where both of them are being put in a position where they have to make people care. And if Rhea wins that match and then Damian wins that match, you just win another match. But if you're put in a situation where you should have won and you lose, well, now I care. And I think that not only is going to help them be bigger stars, but right now, if you have these voids of baby faces, this helps them become the baby faces that you need, in my opinion.
No, that's a good take on it. I agree with that. Absolutely. Because now they're becoming sympathetic baby faces in that way. So, and we're going to see that transition. But we got to move on here because we got to go on to our next match there. And I already know where I'm going with this one as far as the first one goes, because this one was the Intercontinental Championship match, and that saw Braun Breaker challenge Sami Zayn for said Intercontinental Championship match. And Grun, yeah, our guy won. He won.
He did
it. Yes, man. So you saw the match, man. We both been talking about Braun Breaker, been gushing about him for weeks now. What'd you think when you finally saw that moment, bro?
I thought finally, it's great. One thing I didn't expect was the match to be so short, but it was so fast. Sami Zayn came out of the gate and just clobbered Braun, and they made this a really great match. And this is now a great moment for Braun Breaker. He is now Intercontinental Champion, and at a very young and early part in his career, this is going to be an awesome run.
It is. I think so. I think, I thought it was pretty cool that he got a chance to do it in front of his dad and his uncle, because they were there too at SummerSlam. It was a lot of people that was there. I mean, 57,000. I mean, just great stuff. But Annie, what do you think? What's your thoughts? I think we kind of both saw this coming on the Raw deal as well. That we were going to get to that point. I thought it was a pretty good idea that they held it off from Money in the Bank and did it at SummerSlam just because it felt bigger. But what do you think about it?
I thought it was an electrifying match. Just recalling all of the promos that Breaker was delivering going in, he had such an excitement in his momentum. Like, he was putting the work in. He was committed. While he felt Zayn was kind of being this fun, lovable character that he is, I don't know if I don't know. I just really loved that. Just seeing how much momentum went in to the lead up before the match actually occurred on behalf of Braun Breaker. It was really satisfying to see him get this win. He's such an intense performer, and I really, really, really appreciate that about Braun Breaker. He just has such this like visceral responses, and I just can't wait to see what is to come of him, because I just love him as a performer. He's super athletic. Just his mannerisms are just so captivating. Like, he could spear through the whole of a man and come out the other side. And I just thought it was really satisfying to see him get that win over Sammy without Sammy looking weak. Like, he didn't lose anything. Like, they both looked like strong, amazing competitors. And just seeing Breaker's hand raised in victory, it was really gratifying for me. So,
yeah, no, I agree with that, just because I felt like it was time. Like you said, Sammy didn't really lose anything from it. Sammy's gonna go off and he's gonna do his next thing. This was definitely, in my eyes, Braun Breaker's moment. Braun Breaker has been just jump off the screen since he came to Monday Night Raw, since he had his purpose. I mean, it's one thing to just sit up there and mow through, whoever the local talent is in that area at the time. That's one thing, but I'm sorry, like, to me personally, I don't care about that. I don't care about seeing that. When they put Braun Breaker into the situation that he was in, where he was like, you know what, I should have been in the King of the Ring tournament. Now I'm pissed off that I'm not in the King of the Ring tournament, so now I'm going to just run through the roster. And that's what made me care about Braun Breaker. And everything that he's done after that is just been, to me, money, just because I've enjoyed seeing what he's been doing. P, what are you thinking, man? Braun Breaker, Intercontinental Champion last night at SummerSlam. What are your thoughts?
So, as you guys know, I'm a fan of Braun, and I also believe I predicted that this was going to happen, because we talked about after Money in the Bank, like, I can't believe Braun didn't win, and I said I believe if he's going to win, it's going to happen at SummerSlam. In wrestling, we have this phrase: "You won the match, I won the night." And at Money in the Bank, Sami Zayn won the match, but Braun Breaker won the night. So now we're here at SummerSlam. Personally, I think their Money in the Bank match was better. I think there was a nice moment at SummerSlam. And I am very excited for Braun to see what he does with it, especially because I feel like, not in a disrespectful way, he can be the second coming of Gunther, in the matter of he's going to be dominant and intimidating as an IC champion, which is a new thing. Because I don't really think, like, maybe US titles, we've seen the dominant champions. But we really hadn't seen dominant champions that were, like, intimidating and scary for the IC title. That wasn't really commonplace. And even when we had someone who was booked that way, like Kane was IC champion at one point in time, and even Big Show, they weren't really booked in a threatening way outside of just their size, and they lost the title shortly after holding it. I feel like Braun is going to do some really nasty work and going to do some nasty business with that title. But if I'm being honest, though, I did enjoy the match. I thought their Money in the Bank match was better. But I feel like wrestling's about moments. And that moment of Braun winning his first main roster title, him winning his first IC title, I think it means a whole bunch. I think it's going to be cool. And I agree with Annie. They made Sammy look like a threat. I don't think he looked like a threat in their Money in the Bank match, ironically, even though I thought that was the better match. Mm-hmm. He looked like a threat last night. And I think that's what made the quick finish kind of be like, damn, really? We thought there was going to be more match. But It was because Sammy looked so much like a threat in the beginning. And it was like, damn, is this the guy who really beat Gunther? It's like, yeah, it's just, this is also the guy who beat Gunther, Braun Breaker. So,
do you think the match needed to be longer than it was? Do you think that took away from the match at all? How short it was?
So I look at wrestling from a certain perspective.
Sure.
I feel like I would have been more into the match if it was given a little bit more time. But it's not about what you want. It's about what's necessary. Sure. I feel like it was necessary for it to end that quickly. Yeah. Because you're able to make Sammy look strong and look like he's a real fighter without having to drag that out. Mm-hmm. We got a moment of, hey, this dude is about to show you why he's IC champion.
Right.
And then we got a very quick, and this dude's about to show you why he's next.
And
so
I also think it speaks to Braun Breaker how quickly he was able to finish the match as a competitor.
And I think it also shows Braun's evolving and learning, because I think Braun was trying to not make the same mistakes he made at Money in the Bank. And if you learn from that, it allows you to get better. Like myself in the ring, I try to adapt to every single one of my opponents. When I faced Myron Reed, I put on size and got into great shape. When I faced Braden Lee, I was in my bag in the gym. When I faced O'Shea Edwards last night, I lost 32 pounds to get ready for that match because I prepared for my opponent. I don't think Braun prepared for Sammy at Money in the Bank, and that's why he beat himself. I feel like he prepared for him and actually took him seriously at SummerSlam, and that's why he won.
I really do feel like prepared for that short-sightedness he experienced at Money in the Bank.
That's it. I like what you said as far as preparation and the preparation that goes into a match. It's definitely a story, like, to say Braun Breaker can say, I went in and I underestimated you. You know what I'm saying? And Money in the Bank. But at SummerSlam, I'm not underestimating you. I'm going to make sure that my precision is on point. I'm where I need to be at in every single way. And he was, and that's what won him the championship. Voice, let me go ahead and bring you in on this. What was you about that IC title match?
I thought it was a fantastic moment for Braun. This really showed that to me, the WWE is going back to rewarding the fans for falling in love with a product that they're creating. And Braun Breaker's the prime example of that. I think the only thing left to be said about this match that I can't believe nobody has brought up, but this was a Judy Bagwell endorsed match.
I saw that.
Thank you. So we need to remember Judy Bagwell was, she was on a forklift. She felt the same thing that Dominic felt. Somebody was battling for her custody, which I'm going to get in on Monday night about how I think WWE's the ultimate villain in the Dominic story. So I'll get on to that Monday night if you ever want to hear that craziness. But Braun did awesome. Sammy did what he was supposed to do and make Braun look ecstatic. I mean, that Braun Breaker just impresses me. I'm rewatching the match right now, and he's so impressive.
He is.
And you could tell at the very beginning of that match when he walked out, right before he got in the ring, that little smile, it almost looked like he was ready to just take that moment and feel every emotion that was running through him at that moment. And
Voice,
it was a fantastic match. I'm glad they're going this route with Braun.
Voice, you said that it feels like WWE is now rewarding the fans. Do you also feel like they're starting to do something that people complained about that they weren't doing for years, and that's investing in their future?
Yes, I do. I feel that the people at the helm right now understand and get that the fans are what makes this. I mean, you can put whatever you want, but if nobody's watching it, what the hell does it matter, really? So the fact that everybody's watching it, everybody's becoming invested. I mean, hell, you got people invested in Dominic, you got people invested in Sammy, you got people invested in Braun. Like, these guys matter to a group of fans out there, and it's just very. I just love seeing it. It takes me right back to why I got into loving wrestling.
It's refreshing, isn't it? Like, It's an absolutely refreshing feeling and we talked about this as far as Monday Night Raw and how we talked about who's the face of Monday Night Raw, and we're like, oh, we sat there for a second and we're like, it's like across the board. Like, to me, Monday Night Raw feels like the 2004 Detroit Pistons, like across the board, like just everybody's filling in their role and making something great. You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
There's just so much things to care about as far as that goes. And we saw that come to fruition at SummerSlam. Hype, I'm going to have you just come in real quick. I know you're doing your thing, producing. Any thoughts on that match?
No, I absolutely love the Braun and Sammy match. I thought it was what it needed to be in every way. I one, I thought Braun's gear, which is kind of suspect sometimes. Like his gear was on point. I like that yellow and black, man. I thought that was pretty lit. But I thought that match hit all the notes that it needed to, and like it was refreshing because we're gonna see this reign under Braun as IC champion, and like I like his trajectory at taking this title to another level. I like the chances of that.
Yeah, I like his trajectory as well too. I truly do. Like seeing everything that he's doing is great. He's somebody who's been poised for that type of moment, and now we're gonna see Monday night the Braun Breaker Intercontinental Championship era begin, and I'm excited to see where it goes next. But speaking of next, we got to get on to the next match here, and we're gonna keep it with those important mid card championships because we're gonna stay with another one, and that's the United States Championship. As the United States Championship was defended, Logan Paul went up against LA Knight. Yeah. And I think this is something we all kind of saw in that moment too. It was another one of those situations where we're like, okay, it's time for, and even Grun was saying it. Grun said it real heavy. He was like, man, you might as well just do something else with LA Knight. Let him go, something like that if we don't get this, because like, dang, like it's just another one of those things. And it's like to what Paragon has said in the past about Jey Uso is like he's in the main event, but like he's not winning nothing. And like, not to say that LA Knight was in the main event, but he was in the spot that he needed to be in, and he needed to win that match, and he needed to win that championship on that night. And it was just the right moment. It needed to happen. Now he's going to SmackDown as the United States champion. I thought it was a pretty good match. I still feel like Logan Paul went out there and he showed his ass. I mean, that springboard moonsault he did to the was just disgusting. But at the end of the day, it needed to be LA Knight. I've been saying this entire time, like, he's still getting the live reactions out there in the crowd. Like, it doesn't matter if the internet ain't messing with him like that more because he's not shiny new toy when he started blowing up. But the live reactions are still there, and he's been consistent and on the show and making everything that he's been doing, trying to make it matter. And it really mattered when he won that United States Championship. Now we're going to see the LA Knight era begin on SmackDown. P, what do you think, man? Thoughts on LA Knight becoming the champion? And where do you think Logan Paul goes from here?
Well, first you talked about, LA Knight getting the same love on the internet like he used to. Childish Gambino said it himself, the internet isn't real. Like that live audience does a whole bunch. Also, you brought up Jey Uso, and something needs to be said about the fact that one of the biggest stars in the company was not on SummerSlam. Like, right. Picture his entrance in that crowd with that attendance, especially a Cleveland crowd at that.
Right.
I also love the fact that Corey Graves brought up that all day Clevelanders have been saying that they don't claim Logan Paul because we don't. He's not from Cleveland. He's not from Cleveland. So I like that they put that note in there too. But I thought the match was solid. I won't say it was a good or great match. I felt like the match did what it needed to do. Honestly, the stuff before the match to me was great. Like before the match actually started, like that stuff was great. But the match was very solid. The person who needed to win should have won. I'm not going to focus on much as LA Knight because you kind of hit some of the points that I would have said. For me, I want to more so talk about Logan Paul. We asked what's next for Logan, and I feel like if Logan doesn't try to go to Raw after this because he's pissed off or whatever and wants to challenge, somebody else, I could see him trying to get another shot at Cody Rhodes. I can see him being like, well, now that I don't have this, I don't have the distraction of the U.S. title, so now I want, Cody. I also see him potentially taking his talents to NXT real quick and working out with somebody out there.
That'd be interesting.
But I think absence makes the heart grow fonder, and with a lot of people kind of having mixed reactions and views and love for Logan Paul right now, I think we kind of need a break from him. And I don't mean that in like a rough way. Like right now, Logan Paul is still one of the biggest stars in WWE, whether you like it or not. And it's because he has that crazy social media presence. He came into WWE a millionaire, where some people become millionaires in WWE, if you get what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's like, I think with his presence, if you use it wisely, then it means more. It's kind of like when Brock Lesnar worked for the company. You use his presence wisely, because when you overuse it, you oversaturate it, doesn't mean as much. So I think Logan takes a break, if not maybe getting a rematch at the next pay-per-view and then taking a break. And then I think LA Knight goes into a feud with the Bloodline. I think we get LA Knight versus either Solo or Jacob for the U.S. title eventually. Probably not immediately, because you know somebody's here, but in back and whatnot, but I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, so you're thinking we can see LA Knight jump in it with the Bloodline then?
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be interesting. I don't know what's gonna happen with Jacob, just because I don't know if you guys heard, but there is some word coming out that he might have been injured.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really want to dig too deep into that until we like hear something like official back. But yeah, that's I'm just putting out there. That's a thing that's kind of floating around, y'all. So just you guys out there in the household, keep that in mind, and keep in mind to make sure that you subscribe to us so you guys can download every single episode. Give us 5 stars. We're doing our thing, trying to stay on those charts. We really appreciate y'all, and I did appreciate this moment for LA Knight being able to finally touch gold, become the LA Knight United States champion that we know that he's gonna be, and that's gonna be great. But Voice, what did you think, man, about the moment? What did you think about the match? What do you think is next for Logan Paul?
Well, first I'd like to just say this with Logan Paul. He's done some amazing things for us as fans. He's exceeded what we all expected him to do or be capable of, and he's really become a student of the wrestling promotions as a whole. Like he's understanding his assignment and completing it. So, and I would like to say, we have to understand in this day and age, when someone speaks out wrong, we use right speech to correct them. We don't just cancel them off. Correct him with the knowledge. Furthermore, Logan Paul, LA Knight put on a great match for them, for what they needed to do in the story they were telling. I enjoyed it. I thought Logan, he came out and he just gave energy like he always does. But it felt like it was LA Knight's time. And like you said, Howse, I'm excited to see what he's going to do for this title run. What is he going to keep that same energy? And it's Cleveland. Don't worry about it, Logan. Don't worry about it. They kicked out the best thing they had there. So don't worry about it.
The best thing Cleveland ever had is the corned beef sandwich, and we're still holding that down. So you cut that.
I have an oil thing you guys have right over there.
But Voice, question for you.
Yes, sir.
And this can go for everybody in the household. Do you feel like the pressure's on LA Knight now that he has the title? Because
most definitely.
We talked about the whole like he's been losing, and we want that shot. A lot of times, a championship in professional wrestling is not only do we trust you, but now you are the face of this division. You're the head of this division. So do you guys feel like the pressure's on and he has something to prove now? And what do you feel it is that he has to prove?
He has to prove that he can hold the title.
Man.
He's got it. We've been asking for it. I mean, he's been hot for a minute now. I mean, and yeah, he had a cooling off period around WrestleMania, but he's back in it and he's still proving it. So he's got to keep the same energy he's had to get him to the dance and just keep dancing and dancing and dancing. And I mean, that's my opinion on that. Who's ever got another one, jump in.
Yeah, let me jump in on that. So I think, yes, he absolutely does have something to prove. And I think the thing that he has to prove is, okay, so now we've given you the United States Championship. And, I've heard the old adage that it's harder to keep it than it is to obtain it in the first place. I think this is going to be a situation for LA Knight where a lot of people saw LA Knight as a main event guy. So now we have to see how he's going to carry this championship. Is LA Knight going to be the championship, or is the championship going to be LA Knight? It's all depending on the way he carries it and what he does, the reign that he has, the defenses that he has, the stories that he tells that weaves into that United States championship run. I just really feel like what we need from LA Knight, or putting LA Knight in the situation, I think the goal is to get him to that next upper echelon, to break through, because he's already been in main event matches for the title before. He's fought Roman for the Universal Championship. We've already seen him in those type of situations. Well, now we're going to put you in a situation where you're holding gold. This is going to be a little mock situation where it's like, if he can have a meaningful United States Championship run, why couldn't he have a meaningful World Heavyweight Championship run? Why couldn't he have a meaningful Universal Championship run? All I'm saying is this could be a test drive for him to see, hey, if you can be a great mid-card champion, maybe we can put you in a situation where you can be a great world champion. And honestly, isn't that what one of the reasons that we had the mid-card titles in the first place, is to be like, hey, we're going to give you a little test drive here. And, if everything checks out and everything, and you get to that next level, then, we see you as somebody who could be a future world champion. So I think that the pressure is, in fact, on LA Knight. And I think it's for the reason that the next thing for him to do after this United States Championship run is to jump up, break through that next ceiling and start to be like, all right, you're getting to that point where we're about to give you the brass ring. But if anybody else wants to jump in on that, go right ahead.
I think this is one of those moments where Voice was talking earlier that the fans are being rewarded. The fans are 100% behind LA because the levels in which the crowd responds. It's so nice for someone to finally be rewarded with something that they deserve. And I feel like that his potential is finally being recognized. And I think this is only the start of something completely amazing. I really feel like LA has that potential. He's going to capitalize it, and he's going to break down doors. I don't know if people expect him to, but I really do feel like he's capable of anything. He has the skill set. He is great on a microphone. He's entertaining. And I really can't wait to see what kind of storylines that will be written because of this. This is one of those things that was really elating for me. And the only match prediction that I didn't get correct, because I wanted LA Knight to win, but I predicted Logan Paul going over instead.
Yeah. Grun, you got anything, bro?
I think the only thing I say is, Logan Paul or LA Knight has to. This is where he has to prove himself, because he has. It's been pointed out, he's been wrestling 20 years and only gotten big in the last 5 or 10 years. And it was in TNA, where while TNA still has a lot of love, TNA did not have a lot of eyes on them as much as they used to, or as much as they have now. Now, LA Knight, this is his chance to prove that he can be a bigger star, that he can be a bigger part of Raw, of SmackDown, whatever. Because if he can't prove it here, I'm going to say it. He's just a new Miz. That's it.
Whoa.
Respect the Miz.
Whoa. I see where he's going with that. I got you.
But listen, being Miz isn't bad though, because Miz has had a hell of a career. I mean,
but
he has, yeah.
But the thing is, Miz has accolades that LA Knight doesn't, and that's Miz is a 2-time world champion. So that's why I'm saying, don't. To me, it'd be like the better way to compare LA Knight would be, in my opinion, like a Roddy Piper, someone who we loved and we thought was supposed to win the big one, who was great on the microphone, had a connection with the crowd, was a better heel than babyface, but they kept making him babyface, but couldn't never win the big one. The Miz has won the big one twice, albeit Money in the Bank both times, but he's done it twice. He also has the legacy of, before Gunther, he was one of the best IC champions up until Gunther showed up. So that's the only reason why I'm saying, he would have to still do a whole bunch other than just this U.S. title reign to even be The Miz.
But here, let me ask this though: if the Miz wouldn't have taken it upon himself and to actually develop himself as a character and make you become invested as him as a fan, would he be the Miz? Would he be that? Because I kind of see, and Grun, cut me off if I'm going wrong on this. When Miz was introduced to us, to me it was just a throwaway character. The Miz made it something in which the fans became meaningful for the fans. LA Knight, when he came to the WWE, to me, I'm sorry, but the LA Knight character is just a throwaway character. You can have anybody step into that. But to make it what he has, to make it the yeah movement, you got to put the effort in, and he did. So I think that's where Grun is coming from, where he's comparing LA Knight to the Miz. And if the Miz wouldn't have done what he actually put in, we wouldn't have the amazingness that the Miz was and is today, because he's awesome on a mic. I would put the Miz in my promotion any day.
So let me put a comp on that, because so basically when you were comparing the Miz and LA Knight, we're like, if he falls off, then he's going to be compared to the Miz. So let me go ahead and one up you there a little bit there, and or add to it. So if I put a comp on LA Knight as far as if he falls off, I would say more like a Ryback. Because Ryback is somebody who had the fans, he had a thing, things was working for him. You know what I'm saying? The crowd was behind him. What's that?
He had a catchphrase the crowd did with him.
Yep. Catchphrase the crowd did with him, and he absolutely fell off. Totally fell off. What was he? An Intercontinental champion once, and that was a throwaway run, and nobody cared.
Might have been a multi-time. I think he held it twice. But it was that weird. It kept getting passed back and forth between him and Kalisto.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that time. Yeah, because they were But that's my point. Is that to me the comp would be if LA Knight were to fall off. Oh no. Oh
Lou,
no.
Just remember, I'm in your chats, bud. I'm in your chats.
Yes, man.
Your wrestler, Lou, is L Dandy. That's what Voice said. Your favorite wrestler is L Dandy, Lou.
Yo, Lou always in the chat making it fun. Do it, but yeah, that would definitely be my comp. Would be like Ryback, because I would hate to see it for LA Knight to be. I would hate to see it for LA Knight. But I would. That's the comp that I would say, is that you had all that and you just let it slip through your fingers, and that's kind of what I saw
fair.
with.
So, what
with
do
Ryback.
you all think that LA has to do, or what not to do, not to fall into that same trap?
For one, stay out of trouble behind the scenes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that is
that's a big
all of professional wrestling. No matter how much potential you have, if you have poor etiquette, or you either politic the wrong way or don't know how to politic, period, that's number one. And then once again, for me, number two, you have to keep being genuine.
Yeah.
A lot of times in wrestling, we want to, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I want to reinvent myself. But reinvention doesn't always come off as genuine. Sometimes it comes off as forced.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like though people have tried to make jabs at LA Knight about being an Attitude Era ripoff, whatever may have you, I know people who know him personally. I know people, me and Khan know somebody who has been on shows and traveled with him and knows him personally. And he says that's how he is. I got to have a conversation with Moxley at a Revolver show, because they trained together. Yeah. That's how long LA Knight's been in the business. Him and Moxley trained together. And he says, this is how he is. A lot of people think they're seeing a character. Nope, that's just him. So I think he has to keep being genuine, because the moment he starts playing a character, that's when it becomes a problem. My example of that, as much as I love this person, they've been getting a lot of flack recently until they turn heel. The Rock. A lot of people feel like when The Rock comes back as babyface Rock, he's playing a character and he's always being politically correct. He can politically correct in the sense that he's always playing both sides. He never picks a side, because we know outlandish shit. And it's like people felt like he was playing a character until he became final boss, and they're like, damn, we feel like he's being himself again.
Yeah.
I feel
Right.
like the moment you put yourself in a role where it no longer feels like you're being you, but you're playing a character, that also is when the fall off happens. Because I think the same thing happened to Ryback. Ryback also to a point where it felt like a role instead of you.
Hey, that's a good point. I really couldn't have said it better myself. I just think he needs to keep riding this momentum, man. I mean, don't let being the United States champion change the fact that, you know, you have literally like millions of fans that chant your name, say your catchphrase and whatnot. You just got to ride it, bro. And you got to make sure that you're telling, because here, the biggest thing was that when LA Knight first came in, he was doing his thing. He was really not having meaningful matches or anything like that. Like, this was very much around the time where LA Knight was just trying to get on TV and trying to stay on TV. So when he was having matches, he would, you know, people would chant his catchphrase with the LA Knight, yeah. But my big question was, okay, now they see that they have something in LA Knight. How do we integrate him into the stories that we're telling on SmackDown? And then we saw him have his first interaction, like I think his very first backstage interaction as LA Knight when he really blew up was with like Paul Heyman, and then he started getting mixed up with the Bloodline stuff, and like that's for that time period, that was very much the way to bring in characters. Like, just throw him in there against the Bloodline and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? But like that's kind of what it was. But we saw this character development and this growth of LA Knight, and we're seeing the attitude that he brings to it. We saw him run up on AJ Styles' house. You know what I'm saying? Like, this man is like, when I see LA Knight, like, he is very much, to my eyes, like damn near a Grand Theft Auto character come to life. He will come to your house, he will steal your car, he will beat up your family. He doesn't care. Like, he's just an ass, but he's an ass that we love to see be an ass. So like, just keep being an ass, bro. Be an asshole champion that you are. Just keep growing on that. Keep building on that. Keep having that attitude that he has, and I think he'll be just fine, honestly. Hype.
Dead on. What up, yo? I'm not gonna.
What you think?
So I think you guys are dead on with your takes of LA Knight, where we talked about Braun Breaker in the last segment, in his IC title reign, and how we're really looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to LA Knight's title reign, and I'm gonna be 100 with it. I kind of felt like Logan Paul should keep it. I feel like he was doing good things ambassador wise with the title, all that stuff. Maybe that stuff that doesn't matter. But like, I'm scared that like LA Knight's gonna fall off because he's gonna have a mid reign.
You feel like he's gonna get exposed?
Yeah.
So I guess I'll ask you this then. Are you, because this was kind of something I actually was thinking about myself. So I was thinking about his feuds. I was thinking about who he's gonna work with. Are you more excited for who takes the title off of him, or are you just more excited for the title to be off of him?
Well,
for his reign?
I don't want to anticipate bad things or this to be like horrible. LA Knight has done very, very well, but I don't know how he elevates it or elevates himself from here. And that's not on me or anything like that, and nor does my opinion matter. That's on him to elevate these things. I'm not looking forward to who takes the title off of him. I'm just really just trying to wrap my head around what we're going to see out of an LA Knight title reign, if any of that makes sense.
This is what Lou brought up earlier in this discussion, is where I like LA Knight to go with this. Make it show off some of the younger talent and bring them up through this title run. Because you got LA Knight, he's going to give you a fun feud. He's going to give you some type of entertainment, and that's an ultimate way to show these young guys coming up and what they can pull off in a ring.
Hey, I think that's a good point. It's gonna be interesting to see at the end of the day, y'all. I mean, we just gotta wait and see what happens and see where it goes, and we'll see that starting Friday nights on SmackDown. And my man Grun will talk about it and give you the preview show that's going to happen. So check that out. But guys, we got to move on here. Before we do move on to the next match, guys, we got to take a break real quick. We got to pay a few bills. And when we come back, we're going to continue to talk about SummerSlam.
Do you like comedy? Have you ever done it? Have you ever thought about going up on stage and telling some of those jokes that your family and friends just love to hear? Well, now you have the opportunity. Every Thursday night, starting February 15th at Cooper's Pub, we are doing an open mic. The Kokomo Press is doing an open mic at Cooper's Pub in the downstairs comedy den. It's going to be awesome. It's going to start at 8 p.m. on Thursdays, February 15th. And we're going to be doing open mic with 10 to 15 spots for each comedian at 5 minutes a spot. Do not hesitate to sign up. Sign-ups will be at 7:30 physically down there in the bar. Or if you want to, you can sign up early. All you have to do is message our page at the Kokomo Press. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have drinks and we're going to have food specials. And it's all a part of Cooper's Pub. You just go straight in, and instead of making a right, you make a left, you go downstairs, you make a left, and you're right down there in the comedy den. Myself and Brian Allen West are excited to see you, and we'll also have friends that you may know, like Jordan Bell, a.k.a. Hypocrisy Jones, Sean Dalrymple, a local comedian we love, and even Courtney Richardson. You're going to see us all out there. We're going to be having a blast. And again, it starts February 15th, but after that, it's every Thursday at 8 p.m. in the comedy den downstairs at Cooper's Pub. Hope to see you there.
All right, guys, welcome back here to In Your House. As we are talking SummerSlam, we took a little break, and out of break, I got to, of course, do my due diligence and remind you guys where you could find us at. We are usually live on X. We are on Facebook Live. We are on Twitch, YouTube, everywhere. So we are there. And also, after we do the lives, you can catch us on the very popular podcast, and that is, of course, on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify, Spreaker, wherever you get your major podcasts at. Guys, we have been charting because of you guys out there giving us those 5 stars. We've been getting quite a few 5-star ratings this past week and a few reviews, and we do appreciate you guys because, you know, we just broke top 100 podcasts in the United States just this last week, and we're looking to continue to climb, y'all. So we do appreciate you guys helping us out and listening to that podcast, staying strong on it, and it just keeps us going and keeps us motivated to give you guys, you know, unique episodes, different takes, perspectives, and of course to stay entertaining and informative, which is what this podcast was built on. So we are going to continue to talk about SummerSlam, and the next thing to talk about is, of course, the WWE Women's Championship match, and that's Nia Jax against Bayley now. It was very strong on Nia Jax winning this championship. I have been saying for weeks, and I played a few months ago. I played the game twice since then because I played it with Annie O'Neill a couple of weeks ago, and then a few months ago I played That's True, That Might Be True, That's Ridiculous with the voice Josh Joseph. And one thing that came up was, did we feel like that Nia Jax and Gunther were going to come out of SummerSlam as champions? Well, I stood on business and I said that's true, and I'm feeling pretty good about saying that now because I had to stand on it. Even when it seemed like things were twisting and turning in different directions, I stayed firm on that thought. And here we are, and here I am. If I had suspenders on right now, they would be smug suspenders because I'd be doing the old, feeling pretty good about myself. But Nia Jax came out. Nia Jax is champion. Great. In all seriousness, this was such a great thing for Nia Jax, in my opinion, just because, like, we saw her be a champion before in the WWE, and I think she was the Raw Women's Champion. It just didn't feel like it meant anything. It's just like, here, damn, take the championship.
She was also a baby face.
Say again?
She was I don't know if that was the right role for her.
Yeah. It just didn't feel like it was the right moment, but especially with her coming back to the company, and then not only coming back to the company, but come back and just having a hell of a run. I mean, she's just really just been so amazing and such a like pivotal part of SmackDown in such a big way that it felt like putting the Queen of the Ring on her was the right move, and then making the play to put that WWE Women's Championship on her was the right move. I don't feel like Bayley's going to hurt from this. Bayley is Bayley, and she's going to come back and do other great things. This was Nia Jax's night. Annie, what did you think about the match? What did you think about the outcome? And what do you think is next for Bayley?
First of all, finally, I'm ecstatic that Nia Jax won. She deserved it. I really feel like she did. I think she's one of the prime examples of bringing yourself back up from the bottom, because she wasn't always the most polished performer, but she has proved herself time and time and again. She shows why she deserves that crown and why she is Queen Nia. And I was so freaking happy. And one thing that I don't know if Nia Jax gets so much credit for is just how expressive she is. Like, you can see the look of disgust when she absolutely hates something. You can I like that, you know what she's thinking, and she doesn't have to speak any words. I think that's just telling of her character development, of who she's becoming as a competitor. And she made Bayley look like even more of a badass than she really is. And I just thought this was the best performance yet, and I think she's only going to continue down that path, because Bayley looked super powerful. She really did. I mean, lifting someone with who has much gravitational pull to the earth as Nia Jax has is no easy feat. Like, I thought both women looked like powerhouses last night, and I am so ready for the Nia Jax era to begin. I really am super excited for her, and I really I think it's Nia's time. I really do feel that way.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was great, most definitely. P, would you like to add on to that, bro?
I was conflicted. So this is the match I got wrong in my predictions. And
Okay.
It's not, I didn't want Nia to win. It was just like, man, it feels soon for Bayley to lose. But I was also conflicted because I'm like, it'd be really rough if Gunther wins and Nia doesn't, or if Nia wins and Gunther doesn't. And so, like, I was struggling the whole night. And so I was like, look, I'm going to say I want Nia to win, but I think Bayley's walking away because Tiffany screws up and costs Nia on some like Dirty Dom type shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to be honest, I'm so happy she won. And you're right, Annie. She made Bayley in defeat look strong, because to me, there is a level of respect as a competitor when either I have to hit more than one finisher on you, or when I have to stack my moves going into succession. Like last night when I faced O'Shea, I hit him with the Tribe Sacrifice, probably the biggest one I've ever done, and then hit him with the Tribe's Embrace. So for those that y'all don't know, I hit him with a Razor's Edge and then a spear afterwards. I could have pinned him off of the Razor's Edge. I wasn't trying to take my chances of him getting back up, and I wanted to put him down truly. That's still a respect thing. I acknowledge you as a competitor of saying, I have to give you my all, and even if it's all that I have and it's not enough, I have the respect to do that. And either it does or doesn't work out. So Nia doing that, and she hit, 2 of those bonsai drops. I know she doesn't call them that, but, it's the bonsai drop. She has 2 bonsai drops.
Yeah,
I thought that was a very like, hey, I'm putting you away. Especially because now Bayley's the first person to kick out of that.
Oh, wow.
The big deal,
too. The Annihilator, I think she calls it.
Yeah, the Annihilator.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, there it is.
He is the first person to kick out of Nia Jax's Annihilator, because I believe that Rhea Ripley grabbed the rope, or Nia missed when they faced each other. So Rhea did not kick out. I may be wrong. But that match not only was good, but it was almost also unintentionally funny, because like her yelling BBL Bayley and then smacking her on the ass, and then when Bayley gets into the ropes in the corner, Nia kept trying to stink face her and stuff. And I know not Grun, Voice was like, it should have been me.
That's great.
I know Voice was like, it should have been me. But But yeah, I really enjoyed the match. I'm glad I was pleasantly surprised. I'm excited for what's going to come of it. And I think my only concern is it's my same thing with Gunther. I want them to continue the King and Queen of the Ring stuff even after their title wins. Because Gunther won it, and then it feels like he hasn't acknowledged it. And Nia has been kind of doing stuff, and I'm like, I want her to still be Queen Nia with the championship. I don't want it to
She came out with the crown last night. That was a good sight.
She still had it. She still had it in the post show as well. She was wearing it as well as holding the championship.
And I love that.
Fantastic.
I want it to continue because I feel like Booker T set the bar very high for King and Queen of the Ring people because he didn't just get the crown and wear it. He didn't just do a character, but he was successful with it. And so that's why I'm like, I want that same success with Nia. I want her to be able to have the crown, be Queen Nia, and be the champion. That's what I look forward to. But I'm excited. And I think if, Pro Wrestling Illustrated is looking at this, maybe Nia Jax deserves Most Improved Wrestler of the Year. I'm just saying.
I agree with that.
Ooh, I like that.
Because I think
I'm not against that.
Yeah, definitely with that.
Nia Jax had.
No disputes on that. Yeah, that's good stuff right there. Voice, do you want to add anything to that match? And try to keep it somewhat PG, yo, nasty.
I will. Don't worry. I know how to edit. Don't worry. I just want to say I thoroughly enjoyed this match, and if the Wyatt Six storyline, the Bloodline storyline, and Judgment Day storyline has taught me anything, it's to sit back and watch what happens because Nia's on a tear right now. She's just doing everything she possibly can to be the champion that we here at In Your House know she can be. She's definitely a favorite of the In Your House crew. And the fact that she's taken all these chirpers out there on the internet and what they have to say about her, and she's proved them wrong. I love everything about Nia Jax.
Ooh, so what do you think this means with Bayley as far as where damage control might stand? I mean, she was just ousted from her championship, and where damage control was,
I kind of feel like we're gonna get a break with Bayley.
Okay.
I feel that she deserves one. I mean, she's been going hard and long for the longest time.
Yeah.
I mean, she is putting in the work, and it might be a time where we get maybe just a little break from her, and then that storyline's revisited.
Sure.
Because I mean, it has to. It feels incomplete right now, right? I mean, am I wrong in that thinking?
No.
It felt like it was a one-off match, and then I feel you.
Yeah. So I think there's more story to be told there. There's more meat on the bone with that, but I do feel that Bayley deserves maybe just a couple weeks off. I don't want it to happen, but I feel it's needed for her to, just get back into Bayley mode.
Recharge those batteries. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Recharge those batteries. I agree with that. Like you said it. Like and P said it earlier. He's like, we got to give a chance to miss her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
She's got to sometimes it's good because it gives her a chance to go away and recharge those batteries like you said, Voice, she so richly deserves, and also gives the fans a chance to miss her and see, hey, what could be next for Bayley? That's the big question, is what's next for Bayley. But Grunt, I'm gonna tag you in, man. What was your thoughts on this match and the direction of Nia Jax as champion?
I was very split, like Paragon was on, because I thought I wanted Bayley to win, but at the same time, maybe Nia needs this. With Nia taking the win, I think, and how it played out, they're making it clear that they're building up this Tiffany Nia friendship, which I believed had a lot of mileage in it. So I was glad to see that they are not splitting up right now. Tiffany's not cashing in yet. I thought this was and I think Dave Meltzer said this was more of a story-driven show, and you know what? We got a lot of story to tell for the next 6 months.
Very true.
I'm glad Tiffany didn't cash in also.
But I liked the tease. The tease was fun.
Okay. Yes.
So
Especially
let's
Grun.
stay with
Grun
that for a
lost his
second.
mind.
Let's stay with that for a second. P, I think you had a point that you wanted to bring up as far as the cash-in situation. I think we talked a little bit about it before the show. Did you want to expand on that, bro?
So, as we know, the internet's not real, but there were people on Twitter who, after the press conference, and also initially it was after the teased cash in, and then after the press conference, there were people on Twitter that were claiming that they felt like Nia and Tiffany were just trying to save face or just try to, it worked out, so we're not mad about it. But they were saying it actually was a real cash-in attempt, and it got stopped. And so it was just a matter of, is the tease real? Is there going to be something that happens? And honestly, because we talked about Bayley, and we made the whole comment about, Priest and Rhea, and about them being baby faces. Bayley kind of just baby faced her way into a title and didn't really get to have that that true hero's journey of losses or whatever like that. And then during her title reign, she also didn't get to really defend her title a whole bunch on actual pay-per-views. She was left off of pay-per-views. They put Jade and Bianca on the pay-per-view instead of her. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like maybe this is her redemption arc of that long heel run she had. If you let Bayley be the one to work her way back to Nia, take it off of her, and then immediately get cashed in on by Tiffany. So now she's like, fuck, I'm back at the ground again. But I think it was a matter of, do we think it truly was a setup with Nia and Tiffy, or if it would just happen to work out? That was the question that was proposed before the show. But
can I say something real quick? Paragon, what you're talking about with the internet not being real, that's called the dead internet theory.
Huh.
There's an actual theory behind it.
The more you know.
Yeah.
No, after battle.
G.I. Joe.
It is.
The alliance between Tiffany and Nia, I think it's a power play on Nia's behalf. She's gonna keep Tiffany right where she can see her. So at least that's what I'm predicting. I think it's something very and calculating on behalf of Miss Queen Nia Jax. And I love it. I love the calculating nature.
It's part of her character development too, that you would do something like this. It's so good. Mm-hmm. It's so good because if you guys saw SmackDown, you saw that she gifted Tiffany Stratton the, nice Barbie-fied, dazzled briefcase. And she said, I'm going to give you this and you'll be my little princess. But if you try to cash in on me, you won't be my princess anymore. And Tiffany's like, oh my God, yes, I just want it.
What it was,
oh my gosh, he's almost on the podcast.
Do you know what it was giving though? What's their whole relationship is giving?
What?
It's giving Roman. It's giving its own bloodline type vibes. Not in a matter of building a whole stable, but how Roman would pull all those strings and manipulate and would make you feel like he was doing something for you. So obviously it runs in the family.
It's Roman. It's Roman Sammy right now. This is Roman Sammy dynamic.
Because Nia gives major evil queen vibes, and I love it. I love a bad bitch. So
I dig it. You dig P then? P's a baddie. I love it. I love it. All right. Grun.
Yep.
What do you think? As far as this little tangled web with Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax, man, was that cash in planned? Was it supposed to distract Bayley? Was Tiffany gonna? What are we doing here, bro? Because now my mind is working on that.
I'm going to go off with how they acted after the match and how they acted in the press conference after the show, and that is this was planned that Tiffany would come out, distract Bayley, not actually cash in if Nia needed Bayley to be distracted.
That's a good thought.
Yeah, I think this was planned out.
Voice.
I honestly think it was planned out. I think we're in an age of WWE can tell a story and give you multiple different views on it, and then completely swerve you at the end. and you're like, oh my God, I want more. So I think they're known for that right now. I'm just you guys all missed out if you didn't watch the watch along and Tiffany coming out and Grun's reaction. I'm just saying, go back, rewatch it, because Grun was losing his mind. That was the most excited I've ever seen him. But that match was
shiny as a person. Wow.
It was honestly my favorite match to watch with Grun so far. And plus he's really been yeah, he's getting red. I think he realized that he had a couple.
I see everything. Yep.
Yep.
Are you sweating a little bit too? That's okay.
Oh, poor Grun. But yeah, it was Grun's assessment on this whole storyline with Tiffy has been great.
Yes, Tiffy has been great.
50K make that face look great with it.
Poor Grun.
Would I be that female? Am I that female? You're doing
we
really
love
well.
you,
Thank you.
Grun's people are
You can
great.
formulate human sentences. I love it. Really.
Yes. They chimed in. They're proud of you, Grun.
We love you, Grun. Yes, Grunmeister in the building. But Hype, you've been over there hyping, man. I don't ever like to keep you quiet for too long, because when you start thinking, you'd start thinking some weird thoughts. What are you thinking about
What
this
do you
little
mean?
tangled web right here?
First of all, what do you mean I be thinking weird thoughts, bro? Like I'm just gonna be saying, all right, I'm just gonna say, I told y'all that Tiffany could be trusted. I told y'all
You did say
like,
that.
For how long though?
Exactly.
I told y'all
Yeah, for how
this is
long?
going to be a
How long,
thing.
though?
They are going to be together for a bit. Tiffany could be trying. She did not go in there to cash in to take advantage. She's under the learning tree. If I could steal, another place's gimmick, of Nia Jax right now. Nia Jax in her is the second women's reign. I believe. Yeah. WWE champion, her very first SummerSlam ever. Like, bro, I knew this was going to happen. I don't know how long for sure they are going to be cohesive, but man, I could see them potentially. I could see Tiffy waiting, holding this until she probably goes to Raw and cashes in on the situation there. I could see them having a flowing dynamic for a little bit.
Okay, so you think that it's gonna hold for a minute then?
I think it might. And I hope that means that we'll see a little bit more interaction between shows and stuff like that to see both of them as champions at the same time, until maybe like a Survivor Series where they have to face. Like, give me that kind of dynamic. Don't necessarily let neither one of them have to screw each other. Let them play off of each other. Let Tiffy learn, because like she's ready to hold a title. Just maybe not take it off of Nia right now.
I think Nia needs to hold it for a while, for sure, most definitely. I think that, but I really think that. I think I said it on the Raw deal. I think that Tiffany Stratton is for Tiffany Stratton and the grand scheme of things, and she's going to wait for that opportunity to strike. And
Absolutely.
she's just waiting for the right opportunity. That's exactly what I see happening. But I got to take this opportunity to move us forward, because we have to get on to the next match here. And that next match was a match. This was the one match I actually got wrong. And that was Drew McIntyre going up against CM Punk with Seth Rollins as the special guest referee. This match, I mean, I love the involvement of Seth Rollins. I was loving everything that happened in this match. Hype. Yeah, I see you over there, man. What did you think about the match, bro? I'm gonna just let you do your thing.
Yo, this was my favorite match of the night, man. Everything that they told storytelling wise. Now, I was wrong, but I was okay with being wrong in my in my prediction for this match. But I called no contests. Like eventually, they're just gonna have to call the match. Now, of course, there was a winner. Obviously, Drew McIntyre came out on top. But I still think there's so much more interaction with this. Every seed that they planted in this, from coming out. Paying him Undertaker, Bret Hart, and Shawn Michaels in that special referee match, to every little detail that they did in this match, even to Drew McIntyre at the end of the match taking back the bracelet. It's so much. It's so much.
A lot moving. I thought it was a great match as well. We saw Seth Rollins take a GTS voice. What were your thoughts on this match, man? Where were you at with the one match that was not a title match, but of course we know that this has been a blood feud. What are your thoughts on the outcome of the match?
This match was a storytelling match. I mean, they really hyped up were adding fuel to the fire of Seth and CM Punk throughout the entire match, which I thought was great. Me and Grun talked about it during the match. And like Jones said, I mean, just the tribute they paid. I mean, just everything about this match was masterful. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I don't have anything to critique about the match. And usually on a Drew McIntyre match, I'll sit here for 5-10 minutes telling you things I didn't like about it. But I love the storytelling in this with Drew. I liked his the duster he wore, how it had the green snake skin on the inside. Like everything about this match was great.
Yeah, I thought it was a vibe myself. Grun, you want to add on to that, bro?
No, this was definitely one of the top two matches, I would say, for the night. Definitely in-ring work was amazing. You had the incredible storytelling. I personally would have liked a little bit more silliness from Seth Rollins, but you know what? Like, we still got an awesome special guest referee match. We don't get very often. We don't get many good ones. So the fact that we got a great one that made a lot of sense story-wise, and now we're possibly going towards CM Punk and Seth Rollins, or maybe a triple threat between the three of them. I mean, like I said earlier, we're tuning into Raw because they gave us a reason to. Yeah, most definitely. I'm definitely excited. Honestly, I'm excited for both Raw and SmackDown. I mean, that's it. That's so great to say. That is just great to say. But Annie, I'm going to tag you in. What was your thoughts on this blood feud between Punk and McIntyre? I know it's something you've kind of been looking forward to yourself for weeks.
Normally when I watch a pay-per-view, I love chiming in and bouncing things off the people I watch it with. But this was the match where I was watching and I was just so engaged because there are so many different moving parts to the whole. Like, this, I feel like one of the most important parts of this match was the dialogue that everyone was exchanging with each other. And I think it was CM Punk who said it to Rollins, like, it may not always be about me, but it's never about you. And just chills. I had chills when CM Punk said that to Rollins. And when I love the exchange before Drew took the steel chair and he was about to hit Punk with it, and just the dialogue he had with Rollins. And I thought, like, all of the fine details that were just layered bit by bit were just so satisfying to watch. The only critique that I do have, and Grun already said it, was I wish there were more shenanigans from Seth Rollins, because we saw a very serious side of Seth Rollins. One that I honestly didn't expect to see, just given just how flamboyant he's been in previous episodes. And, like, you never really know what you're going to get with Seth Rollins. Like, he is such a live wire that, you really just have to pay attention. It's just the vibe that he brings. And I loved how at one point, everyone wore this friendship bracelet, but they have different reasons for wearing it. And just the details and in relation to the movement that everyone delivered in the match, it was purposeful and it was so gratifying because I see everything. I'm just one of those people that is constantly watching what's unfolding, what kind of message is being conveyed, and everything was on point for me in this match. And I honestly think the storyline could go back to Mania. I think it's going to come full circle. I think it's just depending on how it's being written, there are just so many ways that the storyline can unfold, and I can't wait to see what's next because Raw is going to be amazing. So
yeah,
what the next step is. So.
Yeah, I really agree. I'm really excited to see what's next. I myself said that CM Punk was going to win, but I also said that I would not be mad to see Drew McIntyre win because I feel like that the story is going to continue if Drew McIntyre wins. I feel like that there is meat on that bone. There's still somewhere for us to go with Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. But P, I'm going to go ahead and tag you in, man, to give us a little bit of your insight as far as this match between McIntyre and CM Punk, Seth Rollins, special guest referee.
Did we watch the same match?
Oh.
Hype about this match.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I need to rewatch it. You know, to be fair, I watched the first half of the show starting at like 3:30 a.m. this morning. I watched the second half of the show starting at about 7:50 a.m. this morning. This was probably my least favorite match on the show.
Really?
It was a bad. Not saying
wow. Okay.
It wasn't bad, and like the storytelling, that line you said, Annie, even I was like, that's good writing right there. But when it comes to the actual in ring, there was some things sloppy to me. Like there was anticipation. Like there's one spot I think of in particular where Rollins is talking to both of them. I think Drew McIntyre is holding on to Punk after he countered. And then Drew McIntyre he keeps ducking down like he's trying to avoid something. And then Punk finally turns around and throws the roundhouse kick. And I saw stuff like that throughout the match, but I'm also looking at it from a worker standpoint versus looking at it as just watching a fan. So storytelling, great storytelling. But when it comes to actual in-ring, it was probably one of my least favorite matches. But to me, that just says how big and great a card that is when someone feels like your worst match is fucking one of the best special guest referee matches we've had in a long time. And I personally love that Seth was more serious. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like silly Seth.
Sure.
I don't like the flamboyant Seth. And I think it's because my favorite version of Seth Rollins was the Kingslayer and the Beast Slayer. I loved when Seth was taking on all these competitions, all comers or whatever. Wasn't really a fan of Monday Night Messiah when he had the whole stable going on, and it felt like from there on, me and Seth just haven't connected, So seeing him be more serious. Now, granted, I also like the moments where he was like, "Go ahead, kick each other's asses, I don't care." But when he asserted his authority, to me, that showed the realness of this. I have problems with Drew. I have problems with Punk. You are a crybaby that blames everybody for your issues that you cause. You are a cancer, and nobody wants you here, me included. And I love that you did bring up the bracelet thing, because it's a very small thing if you're not really paying attention, but it's big because referees always try to pick up discarded things and either put them in their pocket or whatever, so that way they're not in the way, they don't get lost. So the fact that Punk got mad for Seth wearing it when he was literally just trying to do his job as a ref, but then Punk wears it because I want my shit back. Drew's wearing it because he's a petty motherfucker. So I don't want y'all to think that I did not like it. Just I'm hearing you guys' responses to it, and I think it goes back to the subjectiveness of wrestling, what makes it beautiful and everybody's perspective. But for me, it was one of the weaker matches on a very stacked card, which is saying the match was weak. It was still a good match, but like we just talked about Nia Jackson Bailey. I put that above this match. You know, we're about to talk about the next after this one. I put that above this match. I put Rhea and Liv above this match, even though I feel like they started very slow compared to Punk and them. So like, I'm not saying this as a knock to it. I like it. I just feel like we're watching for different things, and I'm gonna go back and rewatch it to see. You know, maybe if it was I was just sleepy. Maybe I was.
Yeah. No, that's fair, bro. That's more than fair. And I honestly like that, because you do give us that, you know, that very unique perspective from somebody who is very consistently in the ring on a weekly, you know, basis, and you know, sometimes 2, maybe 3 shows a week. So that we need that. That's what we want, and we want to be able to hear that perspective. For me personally, storytelling wise, it hit for me just because it we're going somewhere else from there. It's not over. We're still moving forward from there, and I just really think that we're moving in a good spot for the story. As we're moving to Netflix in January, we got to keep some of these stories super hot, and I think that that's one of your hotter stories. And if you can kind of prolong that for a while, it could most definitely be one that could hit super hard on Netflix. Hype, you had your hand up there. You got a thought, bro?
Yeah. So I found this Meltzer take that kind of may go along with what P was trying to say there. So Dave Meltzer put out a statement, and Wrestle Talk posted this. They said Dave Meltzer calls SummerSlam an angle show. It was an angle show. If you were watching the show to see great wrestling, it wasn't that. Quote, if you were watching to see angles that were predictable, which there's nothing wrong with, I'm in favor of predictable booking. When people say it was predictable, I usually say it must mean it makes sense. That's what that was. You pretty much could call everything that happened, and they did it well. In that sense, I thought it was an easy show to watch for a 4-hour show. It never lagged. It didn't drag. He enjoyed it.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I you know, we take things that Meltzer say with the grain of salt. A lot of the IWC does, but I agree with that. I mean, it very much felt like that, you know, and that's okay. You know, like this is going to restart a lot of storylines. This is going to freshen up a lot of storylines. Like, this was very much, I don't want to say it was the culmination of some stories, as it was a transition for a lot of stories. Now we're about to go into a different chapter here,
Right.
and that's what it needed to be, and that's exactly what it was. And say again.
It served its purpose.
It did.
I mean,
100%.
not every show needs to be a banger. Like, not every show or match needs to have a climax. Like, if we had that frequently throughout every show, then we know what to expect. So
right.
Also, if everything is always good, then nothing is good. You know, like
right.
If you have a show and every match is a banger, you probably killed your crowd by matches. Have 6
right.
Like,
but I will say this though.
Match 4.
But I will say this though, people keep talking about the wrestling on this show, and it's like this wasn't a wrestling show. To me, this is one of the best pay-per-views of the year. Not the best, but one of the best pay-per-views of the year. And on top of that, I enjoyed the wrestling of it. Like, when I make my knock against Punk and Drew, I'm not saying they didn't do a good job. I'm saying they were sloppy.
Sure.
You know? And I think there was great wrestling throughout the night. Was it story heavy? Yeah, but to me, that's sometimes the best part about wrestling is if I can tell a story and then have a good match without having to do a whole bunch of dumb stuff to kill my body. Because that's one of the problems on the indies. Some indie wrestler watches about to get pissed off me saying this. Well, fuck you. Too many people in independent wrestling, and some of them in contracted wrestling, think doing a whole bunch of cool shit means something. All that does is it adds that mean more punches on your bump card.
If that's intention, why be invested?
Say that one more time.
Like, if crap. I mean, if it lacks intention, what's the purpose?
Exactly. Like, so often people get so stuck up on the moves and they don't understand why the things are happening. And I feel feel like they're like, oh, well, the wrestling this, the wrestling is that. But then if we look back and see some of these quote unquote matches that got 5 stars, not every single one of them is this New Japan classic. Some of them are just amazing storytelling.
Right.
And the emotion that was brought in the match made you feel something. One of the best matches of all time, though I don't fuck with this person, was The Rock and Hulk Hogan. I fuck with The Rock, but the other one. That's one of the greatest matches of all time. But these motherfuckers didn't wrestle. They worked.
Yep.
They were putting on a show to show you, hey, this is what it looks like when you make the moves matter.
Right.
Not give matter to the moves.
Right.
So, I think the show was great on a wrestling standpoint. I think it's just a matter of maybe you were expecting a hour-long, 2-hour-long, classic where people need an oxygen tank afterwards. And I'm like, but you don't need that every single show, every single person. I'm not knocking that match that did that. But what I'm saying is you have to quit holding the standard of a good wrestling match to a standard of a wrestling match you like.
Right.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good point. It really is a good point. But once again, we got to push forward here because we still have the World Heavyweight Championship match to talk about. And I think that it was just, once again, I think it was just me and Annie who kind of saw this one as Gunther taking this one. I think everybody else was kind of more team Damien. But I said it. I said that the story for, and I've been saying this for months, I'll bring it back here. You got to pay attention to everything Finn Balor has been doing. I've been literally saying this for months on months. I've been saying, everybody's like, Finn Balor, he's not doing anything. What's Finn Balor's role in this? I'm like, just wait, watch. Finn's going to strike when it's time to strike. And he struck when it was time to strike. He screwed over his Judgment Day brother. There's been some envy there for a while. If you're paying attention to what Finn Balor is doing, he took that room key quickly and swiftly. He has been feeling some type of way. He even told Damian Priest, "You've changed ever since you won that championship." And oh man, I love the part of this match that I loved was when they showed the replay of it on the Tron, and Dane Priest saw it, and when he saw it, he was like, "This motherfucker!" And then that moment when he actually got a hold of Finn Balor, his hand on his throat, and you just saw the look in his eyes. That look in his eyes, and I'm like, "This is what I was."
I know they call him Leather Daddy Undertaker or Bisexual Undertaker, but that was that Undertaker moment where he gets out that choke, gets right there, guzzles him and I was like, get him.
Yes, I felt that. I was like, okay, see, this is exactly what I'm saying. We're about to see Damian Priest on a completely different level. After what happened with Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio, he was back there with the quickness. Where is Dom at? I'm going to kill that kid. This is the evolution of Damian Priest, and it started with him looking out for his best friend Rhea Ripley, and it got finished with Finn Balor screwing him and giving that title to Gunther. Annie, we was calling for this. What was you thinking? Where do you think we go now that Gunther is the champion? And the bigger question is, where do you think we go with Damian Priest from here?
This was match of the night for me. This was just how Finn and Damian went pound for pound. I loved it. I think, and I really feel like Gunther and Priest, they're they're different sides of the same coin. One has this privilege that served him and gave him the places he's had in his life, and Priest is that underdog that had to work his way up. And everything was just so I don't know. I couldn't stop watching. There are so many different elements that, and going back to Raw, Finn didn't want Damian in his corner.
Yeah.
So, and the first thing that kind of blipped on my radar, and then all of a sudden, Balor is really gung-ho about going out and supporting his leader. Just it was really fascinating to see what this moment was going to give us. I mean, even though it was predictable, I just really couldn't wait to see it happen. And just the look of, surprise when Priest saw the betrayal that was committed against him. It was just that moment where, all of the things that Baylor has been basically conniving against Priest, like just seeing that moment, it was really satisfying. Just how it all played out. It was, and it just really spoke to the fine storytelling that we've seen all along. But yeah.
Yeah. I this was really well put together in my eyes. I mean, I think the whole show was really put together well. And I mean, if it was predictable, which a lot of us, felt like I felt like I called that show like damn near to a T, like to a T. But if it, once again, predictability, there's nothing wrong with it if it makes sense. And I think that this show made a lot of sense. And there was a lot of moving parts that went with it. I honestly thought it was great to see. I'm with P in the side of this was one of their best shows of the year, in my opinion. But I'm going to throw it to Grun. What did you think about this match, the main event? Gunther is now champion. He is our main champion on Monday Night Raw. He could be our champion going into Netflix, man. What do you think about this match and the direction of both men outside of this match, including the third element in there, Finn Balor?
Well, first, I want to say that I agree with Annie. This was match of the night. The storytelling, the violence, the brutality, the in-ring wrestling. I thought this was the best wrestling on the show. This was the best storytelling, the best emotions. This was the match that, even though Damian lost, this brought him to the level that we've been wanting to see, that I've definitely been wanting to see. Damian is on a new level right now, even though he lost. Gunther, I have been on the fence about whether or not he was going to win or not, because I'm like, well, I mean, him being champion before or after Netflix makes sense. Making him champion sometime around the Netflix turn, like, yeah, that's big. That definitely, because like it's Gunther. You want to make it big, and I wasn't sure this was going to be a big enough moment. This was a big moment for Gunther.
It's like I was talking about earlier, where I say in wrestling, you can win the match, but your opponent can win the night. And so it's like you're saying that Gunther may have won the match and the title, but Damian Priest won the night.
100%.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly how you said that. How that played out is exactly right. That's it right there, P. So great point as far as saying that, because this was a perfect example of that, in my opinion. Voice, you want to go ahead and chime in on this match here?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's been making some great points about it. It was just epic storytelling. Two guys really showed what they bring to a company throughout this entire feud that they've been doing, and then now the addition of Finn Balor in the way that we fully know his intention. There's no more guessing. There's no more wondering what Finn's going to do next. We know what he's doing next, what his intentions are. I really like what Grun was saying with this is the match we needed from Damian Priest. Yes, would I have loved Damian Priest to keep his title? Yes, most definitely, because I like what he's doing. I've been becoming a big Damian Priest fan. But this was an epic match. This is going to go down in a really good match for both guys to have on their card for future endeavors inside the company. Just alluding back to this, just two monsters just beating the hell out of each other for a title. Yeah, it was very well done, and I enjoyed every moment of it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this match. I'm telling you, I'm standing on business when I say that World Heavyweight Championship will soon be the most important championship in the company, as it will be the face of Monday Night Raw in the Netflix era. And you're going to have a strong champion like Gunther going into it. Hype, I'll go ahead and let you get your say in there real quick, man. What was your thoughts on this match and everything that came from it and everything that will come from it?
I'm very intrigued by where this is going to go. Everything with Finn and Damian is definitely a what the fuck is going to happen. I think writing was on the wall in a lot of cases with this. We saw where maybe Damian made some mistakes in the beginning. So Finn, this is Finn's retribution of those mistakes, those mistakings of Finn's character or friendship or things like that. Like, I'm so intrigued by the how this all plays into the Judgment Day and how they're gonna handle this. But for Gunther, and man, way back when we were calling for him to be world heavyweight champion, I wanted him to be world heavyweight champion and the Intercontinental champion at one time. Like my brain be doing crazy shit, but like I'm excited for him, and I'm also scared. I don't think he'll have a bad reign by any means. We all know what to expect from Gunther. He's going to mow through some people, and he's not even going to be like a heel that like mows through people and tries to dodge people. He's going to be like, come bring it. I'm going to chop you all down. Every fucking one of you trees, I'm going to chop you down. And like Gunther is like, I'm excited to see where this goes. And Gunther has stories too, man. Don't forget, like there's seeds planted with Vidi Vici. You know, when they kicked him out of Imperium and shit like that. So like, I think we're in a good position right now, and in a good holding, especially as you guys brought up the Netflix deals as they come. Gunther would be a good face for that. Gunther would be a good representation for that. So like, I'm excited about this.
Yeah, I think so too. And like you talk about the opponents you can have. I think there's a possibility that we can see Gunther and Sammy run it back, but this time for the World Heavyweight Championship. I think that there's a story there because guess what? Sammy did pin Gunther and beat him for that championship, and you know now Sammy don't got anything else to do, and Gunther's going to be looking for opponents. I just think it'll be a good time to revisit that at some point. But P, let me get your final thoughts on this match before we move on to the main event.
I got so many feelings about this match. Match. One, Damian Priest's fault. Damian Priest's fault. And what part of the reason why I say that, because I know I said the same thing about Rhea earlier, is I feel like we talked about when Dom turned. Well, I feel like when Finn turned was when he was going through his whole phase of, I don't need the Judgment Day, they need me.
Yeah.
When you put that type of energy out there in the atmosphere, you can't be surprised with what you get back. And then, you know, well, when you were the guy, then you were there. When I'm the guy, and like, but they're like, who made you the leader? I thought we were supposed to all be a group, whatever. That was the whole reason why we kicked Edge out, was because he wanted to be the leader. We're supposed to be equal. And so, like, I think it was one of those, we're seeing your hypocrisy, no Jones. And, you know, it's, you're playing this game, and the game that you're playing is pissing us off. We're supposed to be a family. And it feels like, it's like that redemption arc of you're going to have to go through some crap right now and kind of, you know, make good of the sins of your past. And some of those sins were made against the people you were standing alongside. And one thing in wrestling is when you are a bad guy aligned with bad guys, you don't piss off the bad guys you're aligned with. Yeah, Lou said priest screwed priest. Yeah, you know, I hate to put it that way, but sometimes you need that for good guys.
Can I interject for just a moment? I think that was a trend of the entire night, right? There's not anyone that lost their match that didn't screw themselves, if you think about it. Whether it's Rhea, she screwed herself because of the way she's treated Dom in the past, I think, and the things that she said. Whether she's wrong or right, and I'm not arguing that fact right now. Whether she's wrong or right, she invoked an emotion out of Dom for him to do the things that he did. Shut the fuck up. Same with CM Punk. he screwed himself because he took his eye off the ball. He took his eye off the prize. Look, Logan Paul screwed himself because maybe he shouldn't say things about sports that he's not in countries that he's not in, and about people's genitalia that he has not seen.
What did Bailey do, bro?
That's what. Yeah, what did Bailey do?
Okay, Bailey is the outlier in that. But you know what? Bailey has not always been the best person, and karma's a bitch sometimes. I that's all I got for that one.
But when we talk about the match itself and the potential of both Gunther and the potential of Damian, there's something that I think if they pay attention to it and if they lean into it, it could be magical. Because we got to finally see Superman bleed. Or should I say Homelander.
Oh.
Never seen Gunther look so vulnerable. Yeah. Whether he did. And even in losses, even in defeat, like we've seen him have bangers he could have lost, but you're the chop master, and yet Damian made you bleed from chops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And you keep getting him in holes, and he just keeps getting out of them and taking it back to you. He threw you. Normally, you're the one throwing people around, and he muscled you up at that. And then once again, that really cool moment where he guzzled Finn. So like, I totally agree. Damian didn't win the match, but he won the night. And I think now you have the potential to have Damian go on some like redemption arc, like Undertaker type run, or you can have the story of like, now that we see Gunther has been vulnerable, now that we see that he bleeds, then, are we able to do this and do that now? But I do want to address something, because you said you and Annie were the only ones that were calling this. And I believe the last time I was on the pod, I said that I'm predicting that either Finn Balor is going to screw Damian Priest at SummerSlam, or I said Finn Balor is going to betray Damian Priest and be the one to take it from him after SummerSlam. So I did definitely say that I knew there was going to be some issues there because I was seeing the stuff go on. But I think it's smart, personally, because when you insert a reason for someone to lose a title that you don't want to have the title for, let's say right now. Like, let's say they want Damian to have the title again, but later they may want him to chase because we're trying to rebuild him as a babyface. An easy way to do that is let's get you away from the title. And so we're going to have someone cost you the match, have them face you for the next couple of months. You feud with them and then either work your way back or go back down the line. My thing, though, is I don't think I want Finn to lose if he feuds with Damian, just because we keep asking for this rebuild of Finn. Though I did see somebody saying on Twitter, like, Rhea and Damian versus JD and Finn, and I thought that was hilarious. Which, honestly, I'd probably take JD out and replace it with Dom, but either way, I think that'd be dope.
Speaking of Dom, look at this here. This man, he's a scumbag, bro. He's got all the chicky nuggies, bro. Look at this guy.
You're just jealous you want the chicky. Don't lie.
Dude,
I do.
Chicken nuggets are not the best thing ever.
Nuggies. I love me some chicky nuggies.
This just shows that
it ain't the best thing ever. The man's a child.
Where's the best?
Yeah.
Like, the point that was said earlier about him not being a full-ass grown man yet.
No, yeah. He's stuck in his trauma when WWE had a battle for his custody between his two dads. So this man is stuck in a moment in time in where chicken nuggies are the only thing that gave him comfort. So he needs to see somebody grow up and get past this because he's making horrible decisions as a life.
He wakes up at night here. Where the fuck is Vicky? Where the fuck is Vicky?
Exactly. This explains a lot about Dominic Mysterio.
Oh, damn it.
Oh, dear God. Oh, man. All right. We got to get to this main event, guys. We have to get to this main event here. And then after that, we'll be doing the premiere and the watch party of my music video 1, 2, 3. That's going to be great. Excited for everybody in the household, including my great co-host here to check that out. But before we do that, we have to get to the main event of the evening. And that was the Universal Championship match between Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa in a Bloodline rules match. And listen, we could talk about the match, what have you. I got no problem talking about the match. I'm not saying I don't, but we all know what the story was here. We all know what the thing was. The man that was bigger than the match himself, and that's the original tribal chief, the OTC. That's the return of Roman Reigns. And if you were the one true chief, yes, sir. And if you were to look in the dictionary, and it'd be pretty close up in that dictionary, it'd be the first few pages, after like the table and whatnot. It'd be A, and that's aura. And if you look up aura in the dictionary, you're gonna see Roman Reigns' picture right there, because that man had an aura when he came out, and it was just a great moment. Everybody was ready for it. It was the right time for him to do it. He came out, took care of business. You heard it, and the thought was, and they played it really well on commentary, who was he coming here for? Who was he coming here for? Was he coming for Cody, who defeated him at WrestleMania, or was he coming for his cousin who has had his name in his mouth for weeks? And we saw he wasted no time as he started to sprint to that ring, came in, Superman punch, no time wasted to Solo Sikoa, and then boom, spear. Everybody was ready for it. He leaves, no word spoken. It was a great moment. Cody retains. Man, wow. Just replaying that moment out of my head was just magical, honestly. But P, what did you think about? If you want to talk about the match, that's cool, man. But the moment is the story here.
So I do want to give you guys more room to talk about the moment. So I am going to talk about the match, at least briefly.
Sure.
Solo Sikoa surprised me. Now I know Solo, and I've got to see Solo's work on the Indies,
Yeah, we've been in locker rooms with them.
Yeah, we was in locker rooms with him. The reason why I say he surprised me is because this was the first time that he got a true main event spot, and it's a whole different match. It's a whole different vibe. Now, yeah, we got to see him work with Cena, but even that wasn't a main event match. It wasn't main event pressure. And I know we talk about his aura and this, that, and the third, but whether you agree whether or not he belonged to be in there with Cody, he looked like he was ready to be in there with Cody. That's how I put that. He looked like he was ready to be in there with Cody. And I was proud to see what he did in that ring. I was proud to see the work that he put in. Yes, there was the bloodline shenanigans, as typically happens with the bloodline. But I thought there was truly something beautiful being able to watch the progression and the work being put in. With that being said, I don't like Roman's new music. If you guys listen to it, the music he came out to sounded like a remixed version of what he was coming out to before, which maybe it's because, well, he's a babyface now, so that was his heel music. This is babyface music. I don't know. But you said it, aura. And where do we go from here? I think the only thing missing from that moment, if I'm being honest, was Paul Heyman. I think we were having that moment in that match, and then you heard, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
I think
the roof would have came off that place.
It would have been a crazy pop. And then after you hear that, and he introduces Roman, and then we get the Tron, and then Roman comes out the same way he did. Maybe it was more surprising for the Tron to hit like it did, but I think just the initial pop would have hit differently, especially because Roman's music was different. So it didn't have the same beginning. And we have become accustomed as wrestling fans that when we hear certain sounds, we equate that to a person. So when the sound is different than what we're used to, oh, that's your music? Oh, okay. But I wanted to more so focus on the fact that seeing Solo hang in there with Cody and look like he belonged in there. I won't say whether or not I believe he's main eventer status yet when it comes to a full-time situation, but as someone who knows him, as someone who's watched his growth, I was proud.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. Former In Your House guest and friend of the show, Solo Sikoa, getting a SummerSlam main event opportunity was just awesome to see. and I really do think that he held his own, and it ended up being a great match because there was a lot of questions around Solo as far as what he could do in this type of spot, and I think that he did hold his own. But man, I got to tell you, seeing Roman come back, I mean, I guess I when I watched it back, I noticed the music, but man, in the moment, I guess I just wasn't. I was just like, oh shit, he's here. What's he about to do? What's coming? Like in that moment, I was just locked in. But Voice, where was you at, man, with the match and the moment?
Well, I feel that this match was meant for moments because, well, I'm sorry, but I completely disagree. I think this match was nothing more than we're waiting for when Roman's coming back. When is the rest of the bloodline going to interrupt and all of that? This did not excite me for a Solo match. Not many have. I don't feel that he's grown. I mean, we also had the injury that happened with, or whatever may have happened with Jacob. That was another thing. Me and Grun were both waiting for Jacob to appear. There wasn't a moment when we were like, oh man, I hope Solo does his thumb trick. So I don't know. I was waiting for Roman. I enjoyed the Roman appearance. I was happy he took out Solo. It kind of makes it SmackDown's going to be, like I said, right after SummerSlam. They're going to be moving back up to Much Watch. Mm-hmm. And here we are with Roman returning.
Yeah, you did say that. You did say that, man. And it's crazy to me because I know I really hope that Jacob is not hurt. I truly hope that he's not hurt because like just seeing the little flashes now, and we saw it on SmackDown. He just became a tag team champion and he's been with the company. I mean, he's been with the company for like what, 2 months, maybe around that possibly. So I'm like, man, I would really hate to see him get, his legs cut out from under him like that. I really hope that if it is an injury, it's something to where it doesn't take for too long. But Grun, I'm going to throw it to you, man. What was your thoughts on the match and the moment, the return of the tribal chief?
I thought the match was pretty good. And like Voice said, like this was a match that did suffer from people wanting that moment that we did get. Roman Reigns returning, him doing what he normally does, taking his time, walking down to the ring and making people soak it in, and hearing the crowd scream "ooh ah" to him it showed Roman Reigns has not lost anything. He did everything he was supposed to do during his run, and now it is time for him to come back and begin the next chapter.
Yeah, I think everybody wants to see that next chapter of Roman Reigns. I mean, they did a really good job, in my opinion, because he needed the time off. And then, of course, we all know like his father passed and everything, and like he definitely needed time from that. And he suffered from leukemia in the past. What this man has managed to do with everything ailing him is just, once again, it truly is greatness on another level. I know that's just a tagline that they throw on a shirt, but it truly is greatness on another level. So like, I'm excited to see what he does next. And
he gives so much to wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Like it's one of the reasons why, like, I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's one of the reasons why, like,
you're good.
I used to be so mad when people would like give him shit, because the Roman Reigns we got to see with the tribal chief that everyone fell in love with, I was seeing back when he was Liaki. Yeah. I was a Liaki fan, a day one fan.
Yep, and I remember those days.
I was even a fan when he was having to be suffering succotash, when they were trying to make eat dog food. Like, I was a fan of Roman through and through. I never stopped being a fan of him. I supported him. And it felt like so many people didn't want to give Roman a fair shot, not even because of anything Roman did, but just because a lot of times wrestling fans want to feel like they choose their person. And I felt like when they were they decided for us, even though it was them listening to you. They heard you react to Roman at the Royal Rumble when you wanted him to eliminate Batista. So they said, okay, we hear you. This is next up. And then we want it in that moment, not afterwards, but we have to make stuff make sense. We have to build to it. And so it's just, he gives so much. He's beat cancer twice. For all we know, he's still potentially battling it. He lost his father. He had to miss WrestleMania because he was protecting his father and his kids because he had newborns. He comes back. He sacrifices himself. It's said that multiple times during his long title reign, he was wrestling through really bad and aggressive injuries. So, like, he gives so much. And I really hope that whether it's a tweener or babyface run, they appreciate him this time, because I don't believe we're getting Roman for much longer.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm with you there 100%. I think that the time that we have Roman, especially since, think about it, I think he's been over 10 years. Yeah, I think he's been there over 10 years. And like, and it's easy to forget too, like how much time he's actually put in. But like, yeah, he's there. And I feel like that we need to be in that spot where, you know, next year, it's going to be all eyes on everything John Cena does. You know what I'm saying? And I get that for good reason, because that is going to be his final year. But guys, let's not just mull over the fact that Roman Reigns is just amazing, the greatest of all time. And just, you know, don't get too lost in the sauce forgetting what this guy has done and what he's going to do. Let's appreciate him while we have him in the moment. Let's appreciate Roman Reigns while we have him in the moment for the time that we have him. We have to. We need to. But Annie, what were your thoughts on the main event? What were your thoughts on the return of the Tribal Chief?
First of all, I'm an avid dog person, and seeing Cody Rhodes come out from his tour bus with his gorgeous Pharaoh, I tweeted when I heard his name, because I just think that's the most adorable name for such a majestic dog. Like, that was one thing that I really, really, really loved it. I think it built Cody even more as the face that he is. You know, I think the only thing that, you know, we were all waiting for Roman to return. It was the writing was on the wall, and I was really excited for that moment. But the moment that his music played and I saw him just walk calmly down to the ring, like, I guess I had a different image in my head. I think it would have been more impactful than it already was if his music played and then he ambushed Solo. That was the only thing that I think would have really threw off the predictability, because it was inevitable that he was going to return. But if his entrance would have just been switched up a little bit, I think it would have even made more of the moment. And one thing that I really, really, really appreciated was the impasse between Cody Rhodes and Roman, and how Roman just like, because you didn't know what Roman was going to do to Cody Rhodes. Like, yes, they will inevitably probably cross paths again, but just how he took his sight off Solo for a moment and just acknowledged Cody, like, they have no understanding right now, but in that 1 second of time, it was really riveting for me. But yeah, Roman's return, it was amazing. I mean, especially because we knew it was going to happen, but how is it going to happen?
Yeah.
There
it was right there. No, I understand. And like, I do feel like, and Paragon said it, I think the music, looking back at it, I think they could have done that differently. I truly do. When I think about the moment itself, I was like, man, this was great. This was awesome. But there is like the glass shattering anytime Austin came out, or if you smelled the or something like that. Like, I felt like there wasn't that trigger. I think the thing was, everybody was looking at like the Titantron and the sides of the barricades and stuff, because they have those, you know, LED barricades there, and they're like, the head of the table, they all say, oh my God, we already know who it is before he even walked out, you know, and that was that. But like, yeah, and I think somebody said, I think it was Lou, it might have been Lou up there in the chat, he said, I really hope that the music was a one-off. Me too. I get that maybe that's just babyface. Nah, I don't think, just keep it. That his theme that he has as the Tribal Chief, normally that we've seen it as, is a banger. So I think you just gotta, I think you ride with that.
if you want to give him babyface music, and this may be unpopular, go back to the shit he did before he turned heel. Then the Shield because at least
the Shield, yeah.
Was it
that one.
necessary for him to change his music now that he is kind of in that face position now? Was it?
Not really.
I didn't think so. I didn't think that was something that needed to occur.
I didn't. I didn't. Hype,
He
you
needed
got any
Paul
thoughts on
Heyman.
this?
You guys hit it on the head.
Yeah.
He needed Paul Heyman to say
It should have been Paul.
anything. He could have said fart,
Should have been
and as
Paul.
long as it was in Paul Heyman's voice, it would have been more appealing than that.
I
I'm
thought
serious.
you're not wrong, right? But like, so there's like a new gong or something. There's new sounds in his new shit, and I know it probably took everybody in the crowd a minute, but maybe when we hear it at a SmackDown, a smaller show for some reason,
That could be
different
too,
audio, maybe it'll hit different. Maybe it hit weird in this stadium.
It is
But
the
that's the only
Browns
thing I can
stadium.
think of. I mean, I don't
Probably
know.
have not efficient audio.
Spear voice. So
I didn't.
don't-
Biggest
Can't steer me through the
claim-
internet, buddy.
They claim MGK
Oh, no.
Logan Paul, bro.
the second time I see you, you're gonna be like, hey, what's up, P? And I'm like, hey, what's up, Spear? Like,
As long as you record it for content, we're good.
I'm gonna record the
Yeah.
to some water for you. We'll record that part. I hope you can swim.
I'll feel safe. At least the one delivering the Razor's Edge will be completely sober, so I'll be okay.
Yeah, we
That's
did.
a deep cut. Ooh,
that's a
Scott
deep
Hall
one.
cutting. Ooh.
R.I.P. Scott Hall. 10 subs for R.I.P. Scott Hall, so that we can still run and get this head tattoo.
Yes.
that one.
We need that head tattoo.
5K subs for Andy's nose ring and for one of Con's dreadlocks.
Wait,
And also
me do what now?
12 subs for Hypocrisy Jones' cigarette that he had earlier. We're just getting subs for random things right now. Subs so that we can get all the way up to 50K subs, and then Grun will get that head tattoo.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Hype.
Lou's all
Hi.
about it. Lou is all about it.
Lou's in there. Lou's in there.
Yeah.
Hype. Give us a little bit of your deep thoughts into the match itself. Where you, like, are you more excited for SmackDown now that we see Roman is back? Like, where you at? Talk to me.
I think it's that part. I think I know, okay, I can kind of watch week to week now. Roman's back, so it'll give me some more stories. It'll make those other stories that's going on a little bit better for some reason. Like, I feel like, man, Roman really did make everything better, right? And I think we've learned that maybe in a way, Roman stories were hitting. It made us that much more interested in the other stories that were going on in SmackDown. So like, I'm super excited about this because we've been talking for a minute how SmackDown's kind of been mid-ish.
We have been saying that. Yeah.
A little bit mid-ish. So like hopefully this rejuvenate SmackDown a little bit. Now I know we'll get Roman on a Roman schedule, but at least it's a Roman schedule. You know what I mean? Con, we still got you there? I think we lost Con, guys. But does anybody else have any last thoughts on this match right now?
No, I mean,
No.
we got some fun moments in it, and moments that we needed. So I think it was well done. The whole PLE was very well done.
I think so too. Let's run down the panel, and everybody want to give us a grade on how they felt, their overall SummerSlam grade.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll start with you, voice.
I will give this a solid A. They did some really great moments. We got to see some people at the end, the main event that weren't carded, like Randy Orton, the rest of the Bloodline, and Kevin Owens, and then of course Roman Reigns coming back. To me, I'm excited about that. Excuse me, because that's more for SmackDown, and I'm excited for that. Plus, we get more Grunt interaction and him being all excited. And if you weren't there watching the SummerSlam watch along with me and Grun, you missed it. But go back, rewatch it because it was a fun time. Grun, you made that a fun moment. So yeah, a solid A for SummerSlam.
I got that. All right, Annie, are you okay down there? Can we get a grade from you?
I'm gonna
sorry.
give it. No, please. It's honestly my Instagram handle, so I want it. But I'm gonna give it an A as well. It was a solid transitional pay-per-view, and I honestly it set the bar for Raw to be super amazing. So I can't wait to see what's next.
Absolutely. All right, Grun, how did you feel about SummerSlam overall?
I gotta agree with Voice and Annie. It's an A. There was really nothing wrong with the show. It was perfect.
I like that. All right, homie P, what you thinking?
If WrestleMania was an A+, SummerSlam was an A-, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think you kind of want your SummerSlam to be an A or an A-, so that way it doesn't overshadow your WrestleMania, because that was a thing for a while. There are very small things that I feel like if they were done differently, this would have honestly been surpassing an A and been an A+ pay-per-view. But I think this is the pay-per-view we needed versus what we wanted. We needed this to be an A- pay-per-view, so that way it sets the tone for the next things we build to. So
I like that. I agree with you guys. Maybe not an A-. Maybe I'll give it an A, because the storytelling throughout for me was everything. I feel like every match in this on this card had a story leading up to it, had a genuine story leading up to it, and it wasn't like some hokey shit. Like it wasn't, hey, we're fighting over this weird egg or some dumb shit that we've seen like that in the past, right? Like they were genuine stories. We know why everybody was going into these matches, whether they were title matches or just grudge matches. Like we knew what everyone had to gain from that. So I give it a really solid A. I can't give it an A+ because I want to agree with P down there that I feel like WrestleMania was the A+, and we were almost there with SummerSlam, but we didn't need it to be as much as WrestleMania, because that just beyond it makes expectations so much bigger, right? And sometimes, we ain't got to do all that. I don't know. That's what's up. I don't know if we're getting Con Man back in here, but I think we are wrapping this podcast up with a bow here. Yeah. So
we should do
what's that?
We should do like our how to reach us and stuff before.
Yeah. We're about to do that. I got this, man. I know how to drive. I got this, my guy. I can drive and navigate, bro. GPS ain't got shit on me. Give me a Tesla. I'm just saying. Yeah. So as we wrap up here, just want to tell Eric. We'll give everybody an opportunity to tell how they can reach you out there in the world, the fake world of the internet, or what have you. So let's start with you, Miss Annie. Tell the household where they can reach you.
I'm Annie O'Neill on Facebook. Annie, are you okay on Instagram? And yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's what's up. How about you, P?
You can reach me at the _Paragon on IG, the Paragon 23 on TikTok and Twitter. On Facebook, keep an eye out, because your boy not only is doing professional wrestling, but I started doing stand-up comedy. Come out, get some laughs, and wonder what the words or the acronym of ASD stands for. Figure that out. Hypocrisy knows what it is.
I know. All right, Grun, how about you, yo?
You can find me on Twitch at Grummeister. You can find me on X at Grummeister TTV.
That's what's up. All right, and Voice.
Well, you can find me on Monday night. You can it's the Monday Night Raw review, where me and the Grunmeister we sit around at 7 p.m. and we talk 3 topics that we want to talk about, leading you up for Raw. You can also catch me on the Friday night ECW watch along with Howse, and whoever in your house or household you're invited to come on. If you have an ECW match that you want to watch and you think me and House will enjoy, we would love to hear about it, and we'd love to put it on and watch it. So join me all those places, and even in the Sunday house parties, and everything IYH, man. Just come hang out. Get us some more 5 stars. We like them. 5-star
Love that.
frog splash IYH.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. And we got our producer back on, the man himself, the concept, Alicon, the con man House. But real quick, I'm going to tell you where you can find me. My name is Hypocrisy Jones. You can find me right here on the In Your House network, producing, doing backstage stuff, editing, all of that, all of those things for the household. I'm also the video editor for the Pope's Point of View podcast. So be on the lookout for that. We got a big one, bro. Let me tell you, we got a big one coming. Can't wait for that. You can also find me on a page called the Kokomo Press and a podcast called the Kokomo Press Podcast. We are a community satire page that has just expanded into this whole thing. We do stand-up comedy open mics, as you saw in the commercial before. We're doing everything, man. We make fun of ourselves, we make fun of our community, we make fun of everybody. But I'm going to kick it over to the man himself, the host of hosts, Alicon, the Concept House Show.
I appreciate you, man, for stepping in. Just had little issues there, but got them fixed, able to come back in. And of course, this is why you have a great team. When things like that happen, they're able to pick up the pieces. So of course, it's greatly appreciated. But you guys already know where you can find me at. That is right here at In Your House, doing my thing with so much great talent that I get a chance to work with on a weekly basis. So of course, I got to go through our lineup here before we get to our music video. And of course, you guys already know on Sundays, we're giving you huge house parties. We love to get everybody together and kind of get together in this brain trust and go through everything that we have seen from the past week of wrestling. But on Mondays, you're going to get my man, The Voice, Josh Joseph, and him and Grunmeister are going to go ahead and jump on those streams for you with Window Lickers. That is the Monday Night Raw preview show where they chronicle 3 things that are, kind of getting their mind working as far as Monday Night Raw. And then they look ahead to the Monday Night Raw that comes right as they go off the air. So you guys get them right at 7. It's a tight hour show, and it really works good just to kind of get you excited for Monday Night Raw. On Tuesday, you have my man Hypocrisy Jones, and soon me and him will be tag teaming on this one as well, and that is Hype's Smoke Sesh, where we kind of just talk about current news and things that kind of spark Hype's interest in the world of wrestling. And I'm excited for that. That's going to be fun because when you let Hype and his mind go, it's some things happen. I don't know what those things are, but some things happen. So come join us on Tuesdays with the Smoke Sesh, but then also join us on Wednesdays as me and the fabulous, divinely designed Annie O'Neil come together for the Raw Deal with House and O'Neil, and we break down our thoughts on Monday Night Raw, everything. I mean, we just kind of break it all down to every little segment, and it's really fun because that's how we got so excited for SummerSlam, is just kind of breaking things down and breaking them down to a point where we're seeing the writing on the wall with things such as Gunther, with things such as Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. I mean, this show has really molded into something where we just get really, granular with the product, and it really makes that Wednesday show just such an awesome show. So once again, that is the Raw Deal with House and O'Neil. Come check us out. We have a great time doing that. And then we jump on over to Fridays, and Fridays become a heavy day for In Your House as we have some awesome ECW watch-alongs. It's just become a great series that myself and The Voice, Josh Joseph, have been doing. Hype has been in on those episodes and produced and watched with us. So those have been really, really fun. I mean, this past Friday, we got a chance to watch Dean Malenko versus Eddie Guerrero, best 2 out of 3 falls match, anything goes. And that was right before they left to go to WCW. And man, if you want to hear everything that's going on with SmackDown, you're going to have to go ahead and knock on his door. You know, he'll let you on in. Just make sure you take your shoes off. Go into Grun's room. Grun is going to give you that work when it comes to SmackDown and the preview show that comes along with SmackDown. Once again, like our Monday night show, it's a tight hour of content that circles around all the happenings from SmackDown. So this, once again, it's a great team. Check out everything that we're doing. Right now, exclusively, we're having Paragon on the house party, but we would love to have a little bit more from him for sure. And I think that's something that we'll discuss very, very soon. But without further ado, I gotta do what I've been wanting to do. Last week, I was able to record a song. I don't know. I just felt compelled to do it. And sometimes it just happens. That inspiration just happens and comes like that. So not only did I do that, I recorded it and I let Hype hear, and he was like, "Yo, man, you got something here. This is hot." So I went ahead, and then that Monday I recorded a music video for it, and now I've been kind of teasing it all week. And the song is called 1, 2, 3. It's just a little track that I put together, but I was happy to do it. So without further ado, here it is right here for the household. 1, 2, 3. Myself, the Con Man. Let's get it.
Hey, they ain't playing over me. Head up, no shame, head up. We don't accept failure, take the L as a lesson. Flip that perspective and you might just see some blessings. It can all change in a matter of some seconds. Strange, my life was looking strange till I got above my ass and got myself a piece of change. I rejected my surroundings cause I knew I needed change. And things started clicking as I started switching lanes, dog. Nowadays I put my people on the game, dog. Respect is earned, just make sure you feel the same, dog. Back in the day my life was hard, I really prayed, dog. Yeah, it's the work, but for real, I gotta thank God. Changed my surroundings and the people that surrounded, became well-rounded, yeah. They thought I couldn't rise, at least they had to doubt it. Mentally I rerouted, now I'm highly touted like 1. If I gotta go and get it, then I'm gonna go and get it. Count on time for the mission like 1, 2, 3. Dedicated to the vision, touching goals with precision. Ask my people, they gon' tell you they ain't playing over me. If I gotta go and get it, then I'm gonna go and get it. Count on time for the mission like 2, 3. Dedicated to the vision, touching goals with precision. Ask my people, they gon' tell you they ain't playing over me. Say goodbye to the old me. Over cold beats, ain't nothing gonna hold me, cause I chose me. I was fighting all these demons, but I managed to love myself all while lifting up my people. Yeah, yo, you can't phase me, I'm sharper than a needle. I feel it in the air, change is coming, beanie seats. To the ones who really stayed for you, I'ma get it. Shout out to my brother Hype Dog, he really did it. Yo, I know he 10 toes down, he seen the vision. I handpicked my fam, they was all my decision. All I do is speak game, I really hope you listen. I just wanna see you shine and put you out there in position. Things come to fruition on the right day. Usually I steady vibe while the beat play. But if you messing with my fam, I let the heat spray. Don't make me count like 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn. If I gotta go and get it, then I'm gonna go and get it. Count on time for the mission like 1, 2, 3. Dedicated to the vision, touching goals with precision. Ask my people, they gon' tell you they ain't playing over me. If I gotta go and get it, then go get it. Count on time for the mission like 1, 2, 3. Dedicated to the vision, touching goals with precision. Ask my people, they gon' tell you they ain't playing over me.